There's no way I'd fall in love with a womanizer, right? Team Anpim presents a Yuri visual novel, and might I just say that they're my favorite Yuri visual novels. With that being said, we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into it. I checked my phone to see if I had a missed reply or not, but my last message is still the most recent one in the chat log. The loud sounds of people chatting away flow through and out my ears, causing the slight headache of mine to ring a little louder than I'd like. Gosh, I've just been getting over the flu and I've had a headache too. Don't remind me. I looked down at the small, almost finished glass of whiskey on the rocks in my hands and swallowed a bit before taking another sip. The chilled burn goes down my throat and I sigh. It's probably the 40th sigh of the night. That's how you know you're not having a good time. I don't think I've ever been stood up before, and my bruised ego still won't let go of it. Couldn't you at least give a reason or excuse for your absence instead of making me waste my time and energy coming here? I switched down the remaining whiskey and contemplate if I want another drink. Maybe something lighter and sweeter to balance out the bitter event that happened tonight. Excuse me, can I get a tequila sunrise? Coming right up. I look down at my phone once again to see if I got a message, but the time shown on the home screen catches my attention more than anything. Oh shoot, it's almost 11. Damn, you waited till 11 o'clock? I mean, how long have you been here? I mean, let's just assume, like, you got invited out at 9. Like, even 9 o'clock's pretty late, especially for adults. Probably finish this drink quick and leave. Maybe just because I'm getting older, but I'm like, I don't want to be out at 11 o'clock anymore. 11 o'clock, I want to be heading home. Oh, I didn't have work tomorrow. Oh, and you have work tomorrow? That's even worse. Drinking on a work night probably isn't the best, but my alcoholic habits don't seem to die no matter how old I get. Or perhaps it's because I'm getting older that my borderline alcoholic habits keep continuing. Just don't have kids. It gets worse. You think your life's hard now. Or just becoming those old salarymen drinking after work every day. I scoff knowing that it might be true. The bartender hands me a glass of tequila sunrise and I quickly down the sweet alcohol. Can't say that I've had tequila sunrise. The stark difference between the tequila sunrise and whiskey wakes me up, throwing me back into reality and telling me to stop being the mopey girl that got stood up. Not a huge drinker though, so I haven't really tried very many. There are plenty more fish out in the sea. Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones though. Pay the bill and make my way out of the still bustling bar, dreading tomorrow's mundane workday. One sec, I want to see. So apparently you can make it bigger. Okay. I guess this is a little bit better. A lot of people apparently were talking about like the text size. I do agree it should be a little bit bigger. Check the weather app as I exit, dreading the rain icon that I see next to tonight's and tomorrow's date. Hey, just be glad you don't live in a place where it snows, because then you just see snow over and over. Or negative temperatures, and it's awful. I hate it. I'm gonna have to tame the frizz in my hair tomorrow. I regret ever complaining about rain. As I open the door, I see two figures in front of the entrance, and one of them flashing by, along with some yelling. Ow, ow, ow. We're over. I'm done being your plaything. Get out of my face. Wow, okay. My body freezes in place, witnessing what seems to be a breakup, and my eyes travel down to the woman propped up on her elbow on the floor. The light illuminated her soft, smoky eye makeup and her long dyed hair. Oops, I accidentally skipped a little bit too much. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay. I was trying to make the text go away, and I was having a little bit of problems with that. Okay, I was a little bit confused because if you see like the text box right here, you see kind of in between the text and then like all this stuff on the side, it has these squares and it made it look like the creeper from Minecraft. I was like, did they really give her Minecraft pants? And then I looked and I was like, oh, okay, they're just green. Gotcha. Her multitude of earrings gives her a sort of bad girl or delinquent vibe, complemented by the chain around her neck. She's wearing an off-shoulder sweater with a small teasing chest window and a pair of loose cargo pants. She seems like a cool and fashionable girl because even though she's lying on the floor like that, it's as if she's a model posing rather than just having fallen. Hey, wasn't there a game similar to this about a model? Despite having just been pushed to the ground, she's donning an amused expression as if she found it rather funny. Funny rather than offended. Okay. My dyslexia is coming out. Instead of getting up, she proceeds to lie on the floor and glances at me. Sorry you had to see that. Except the smile on her face didn't seem sorry at all. Are you okay? Are you not going to get up? Are you gonna lie here for the rest of the night? Yep, I'm too drunk to get up. She says that, but she doesn't sound the least bit drunk in my opinion. Do you need a taxi? I can call one for you. I don't really have a place to head home to tonight. No place to go home to. Must be in some rough spot right now. Maybe I can drop you off at a hotel then? Oh? Picking up a drunk girl and bringing her to a hotel to have your way with her. How sly. What? What is wrong with her? I know, she was rather forward. It's not what I meant at all. What the heck? Whatever then, I'm leaving. I stomp away in disbelief and head out into the bigger street to flag a vacant taxi down. Met a fair share of people, but I don't think I've ever met anyone like her. Her sly smirk is still fresh in my head as I look around for a hireable taxi. Though, I guess she was kind of hot. Shake my head to get the thoughts out of my system. Nah, she seems like bad news. The girl who pushed her down mentioned something about being her plaything. Whatever, she can get drenched in tonight's rain for all I care. She's a grown woman, I'm sure she can find a solution. Green cap finally pulls up in answer to my beckons, and the automatic door opens for me to get in. However, before I take a step closer, where did I read closer? Before I take a step into the car, the image of the random stranger lying on the ground flashes across my mind again. This is in Japan, apparently that's a normal thing. I don't know what part of Japan that is, maybe somewhere around Tokyo. But they get drunk, and they just lie out in the street, just chilling. Nobody bothers them, they just kind of lie there. A lot of salarymen drink their problems away, and then they go out there and throw up and pass out on the sidewalk, and apparently that's a normal thing. Kind of weird, but maybe that's what she plans on doing. Stop in my tracks as I picture her getting rained on like a pitiful abandoned puppy. If we think about the puppies, no, we can't leave her now. I did say it's gonna rain heavily tonight though, through morning, right? Facepalm as I begin to think the unthinkable. Oh god, why am I like this? I thought that my entire life, when I make terrible decisions, why am I like this? Excuse me, sir, I'll be right back. My heel turns and I start jogging back to the bar that I left 15 minutes ago. We're gonna run back 15 minutes? To my surprise, the girl is still there, except now she's sitting up leaning against the wall with her eyes closed. Don't tell me she was actually planning on sleeping out here tonight. Oi, get up. If you're not gonna find shelter, then I'm gonna take you to my place. Her eyes slowly open and she tilts her head upwards to me with a confused smile. Come on, get up. I crouch down to help her get on her feet, and to my surprise, she complies obediently. Her unexpectedly tall stature causes me to lose balance a little, and she steadies me as if I were the drunk one. I know, they always gotta have a really tall girl in these, don't they? Drape her arm around my shoulder and she leans her body weight onto me. She chuckles at my earnest effort. Why are you doing this? Are you used to doing charity work? No, I just feel like I'd be responsible if you died because I didn't help you. Who knows who's roaming around the streets at night? Huh, how cute. Don't call me cute. Jojo went to the taxi that was fortunately still there, and I chuck her into the cab, followed by my tired self. I'm just imagining her just actually chucking her, just throwing her in. Take a quick look at the girl to assess how dead she is. Her eyes are closed and she's leaning against the window. Maybe she really is wasted. Shake my head at her carelessness and then direct the taxi driver to my place. To this address, please. It's surprisingly it didn't take too long to haul her to my apartment room. This is a sad looking room, I gotta say. Like, there is no character. Just a bed and a table. It's kind of Japanese. I drag her through the small hallway and into the living quarters. For once, I'm grateful that my apartment is small because I'm gonna collapse if I carry this girl any longer. Plop her onto my twin bed and take her shoes off before proceeding to change and get ready to sleep. Oh, we got a wardrobe change. Come out of the washroom after changing, and the sight of a stranger in my bed finally hits me that I brought some random girl home on a whim. Fish fear me, women want me. Oh, I just read this shirt and it's great. I love it. Maybe I should have thought this through more. Well, we're gonna see by the end of the novel if women actually want her. Something tells me that they do. My bed looked bigger in my head. The random woman's body takes up about half the space, and although there's still room for me, I'll be a tight fit. Oh, you're actually gonna sleep with her. You're not gonna, like, go to the couch? Maybe this is your entire room. Maybe you just rent a small apartment that doesn't have walls. It's a studio. I regret this so much. I shimmy onto the bed and under the sheets I tucked her in with, trying my best to leave at least a small gap between us. The strong smell of her perfume surrounds me. At first it smelled good, but I have a feeling I'm gonna get sick of it if I don't fall asleep soon. The woman next to me falls asleep, or seems fast asleep, with her eyes closed and breath steady. Gosh, why am I having such a hard time with English? Sorry, it's my first and only language, and I'm terrible at it. Take the opportunity to take a closer look at the mistake I brought home. You know, something tells me you're not going to find her to be a mistake later. My eyes wander to her face that's only inches away from mine, and I begin studying her features as I wait for the slumber to kick in. Ah, that's what it is, the slumber, gotcha. Definitely one of God's favorites with how pretty she is and how tall she is. I wouldn't be surprised if she worked as a model. Wait, this isn't the same girl, is it? Is it? Her lashes are long and curled, perhaps with the help of false eyelashes. Sitting right under her left eye are two tiny beauty marks around her cheekbones, almost like a vampire bite. Not a piercing she has on her ear is a sight to marvel at as well. She has at least 5 on this one ear alone. Wow, she really does have a lot. Her skin is flawless with little to no blemishes, especially with the help of her makeup foundation. Not to mention her jawline. Oh my god. I'm tempted to touch it. Damn, she's really gonna go for it. It's just interesting to hear about jawlines with all the, what is that term called? Mewing? Where you're like trying to make your jaw look more like chiseled, I guess? I'm not gonna explain it to you guys. Look it up for yourself if you're interested. Because I don't want to know about it enough to be able to explain it. But I keep my hands to myself in fear of waking her up and not be a creep. Shut my eyes in hopes of stopping myself from admiring her beauty and pray that sleep takes me soon. But I can't help but take a peek at the stranger from time to time to get a few more looks at her. I'm not going to see her ever again, so I might as well take the chance, right? Fortunately, or unfortunately, soon I end up falling prey to slumber and temporarily forget about the stranger I'm sleeping next to until morning. Yeah, we'll never see her again, guys. Don't worry. The crack of dawn arrives not with an alarm clock, but with slight movement and the smell of a familiar perfume wafting into my nose. I didn't think you'd like me that much to take me home and latch on to me. I gotta leave sooner or later, you know, though I don't mind staying a bit longer if that's what you want. I went awake and slowly opened my eyes to the stray woman I brought home last night. Then I realized with a start that I'm hugging her arm like I usually do with my favorite golden retriever plushie. I quickly detach myself and dart away from her, nearly falling off my bed. Now wide awake, recalling the memories of last night. She chuckles lightly at my surprise and rests her head in her hand as she lies down sideways, looking at me in amusement. I give her the stink eye and get up from the bed, pick up the big plushie from the floor and return it to its rightful place on my bed, unlike this woman that's unapologetically still lying where the plushie should be. Rub the sleep from my eyes and get ready to boot her out. Don't even think about overstaying. I only brought you home because I was worried you were going to be drenched in the rain overnight. The forecast predicted a huge downpour, and I feel bad if something dangerous happened to you when I could have prevented it. Walk up to the window and open the blinds to take a look outside at what should have been cloudy skies and wet roads. Except, the sun was shining down brightly and the ground was as dry as the drying plant sitting neglected on my nightstand. Oh gosh, is this my wife? Something she would do. Like, all of her plants are like just slowly dying. I'm amazed there is still even a few left. It never rained. A heavy sigh escapes from me and I face her and her smug smile again. Still, you would have saved me from getting rained on had it actually rained. And you saved me from potentially getting killed by some serial killer that could have been roaming the streets last night. You never know who's lurking around outside nowadays. I roll my eyes exaggeratedly and cross my arms to signal to her that she's overstayed her welcome. Okay, well, I think it's time you left. It's not raining, and no serial killer would dare stab someone in broad daylight. Time on my bedside clock reads 7:20 a.m. 10 minutes before my usual alarm rings to remind me that I have a job to get to. I need you to get out so I can get ready to go to work. But your bed is so comfy, I want to stay longer. Don't mind me, just get ready for work while I stay here. Out, now. She chuckles in defeat and rolls on my bed. Before leaving, she walks up to my short self, reminding me again of the height difference between us as she stands facing me. My fight or flight instincts kick in when she steps near me, cautious of what her next move might be. You don't often find such kind-hearted people like you willing to help random strangers like this. Thank you. Her grateful words shock me momentarily, leaving me at a loss for words. She walks out of my humble little room and into the tight hallway that leads to the main entrance, but not without an unnecessary snarky comment. Oh, and have I told you that you have a cute sleeping face? Just leave. Uh-oh. Somebody got a little bit embarrassed about that. The tall girl laughs out loud and finally leaves my tiny apartment. I like how she just calls her the tall girl. Still haven't established her name yet. Feel my face getting warm from her comment and slap my cheeks to get out of it. Just who is she? Holy shit. Oh no, don't play that sound. I hate it so much. It's triggering. Just then the loud alarm tone from my phone rings and I rush to get ready for the day. I knew I shouldn't have brought her home. Hope I never have to meet her again. Your face says otherwise. Three days have passed since my encounter with that stranger, and I find myself unable to forget her due to the interesting first impression. Totally not because of how good looking she was. Nope. And also because the event stands out as the most exciting thing that happened in my life over the past few months. Wow. I need to go out more. I say that to myself all the time, but I'm like, outside it's cold, and I don't know, people are scary. I don't want to go out more. I just need to distract myself by putting the misplaced bags of chips on the shelf back where they belong and begin lining up the neighboring chips more neatly. The supermarket's a little dead right now, so I'm just pretending to be busy. Wish Ringo-chan was around so I'd at least have company, but she's stationed at the sample table. I spend the next few minutes moving chip bags centimeter by centimeter to make sure they're perfectly lined up since I have the time. Just then, a manager pops up next to me, huffing and puffing. Asahina-kun, thank God you're here. Are you busy right now? Please, could you go help deliver those bentos to the new perfume shop ASAP? I was supposed to go, but I forgot I have a meeting starting soon. Please. Yes, of course, faceless guy. Because if you've never played a Team Anpim game, they never show the guys. I just have to drop it off. Yes, thank you. Hands over the bag of bentos and rushes back to his office. Xander's surprised at my new side quest, but I'm not complaining. I've never heard somebody working call something that they're asked to do a side quest, and I love it. Maybe I could take a little stroll while I'm at it. With that, I start my short trek to the new perfume store that everyone's been raving about. What's so special about a perfume store? People don't even wear perfume often here. Ooh, I know who we're running into. The trek to the shop isn't too far, just down the escalator around the corner, down a few shops. And if I thought I couldn't find it, the crowd of girls in and outside the store would have directed me to it. I stop in my path, marveling at the amount of people in the perfume shop as well as the shop itself. The store itself is very modern and chic, and although the store isn't all too big, it manages to space out each cluster of perfume bottles on islands and against the wall, giving it the illusion that the store is more spacious than it seems. As if the perfume bottle were works of art displayed at an art museum. Are people always this into perfume? I don't know. I don't really hear about, like, perfume too much. I think it's just like, hey, if it smells good, it smells good, you know? I continue my way to the store and try to look for a worker here amidst a swarm of people so I can get out of here as soon as possible. Thankfully, someone in a black suit hails me down. Over here, excuse me, coming through. The one in the black suit eloquently weaves through the crowd and greets me. Thank you so much for sending these over. Our hands are just too full right now to pick themselves up. You're a lifesaver. No problem. Thank you for your patronage. Look around again to survey the area. There are tons of people looking for the selection of perfumes and sniffing the samples. I noticed a few stares going in a certain direction. Hey, don't you think she's super handsome? Oh my god, I think I'm in love. Right? I'd come here every day just to see her. Just as handsome as that coffee barista girl down at Mont. Oh, I know that cafe. I know that one. Don't ask me to pronounce it. It's been a while, and I probably didn't pronounce it correctly in the first place. Montagny. I don't know. We're just gonna pretend I said it correctly. My eyes follow their gaze. My jaw instantly drops to the floor at what I discover. Damn, she's wearing a very black suit. She's looking like John Wick right now. Like she's about to just start gunning people down. A few feet away from me stands the strikingly familiar tall woman I encountered 3 days prior, boasting light blonde hair and subtle brown peekaboo dye beneath. Except she's in a black suit similar to the employee in front of me, and she looks much more professional than the first time I met her. I don't blame all these girls just now. It also absolutely fall head over heels for her. This is my first time seeing her. Wait, does that mean all these people are here for her? People aren't that obsessed with perfume. It's her that they're obsessed with. But I'd be just as obsessed if I stayed here any longer. The black suit looks amazing on her. Complements her light-colored hair and fair skin. The professional aura she gives off contrasts heavily from the bum I found on the street that night. I thought she was attractive already, but seeing her like this makes her even more attractive. Excuse me, can you let go of the bentos? Huh? I snap back into reality. Okay, I'm in it. As I realize I'm still latching onto the bag of lunchboxes while checking the tall girl out. Oh, my apologies. The employee takes off with the bentos, and my head subconsciously turns back to where I was staring at to resume my eye candy consumption. Except I'm greeted from afar by the pair of dark brown eyes and her signature smirk. The second I realized we made eye contact, I immediately turn around and make a beeline back to the supermarket while feeling my face flush with warmth. My feet speed walk as fast as they can take me. Oh god, she probably saw me being dumb just now. Or she recognized me. Also, who knew she'd be working at the same mall as me? Out of all the places, why here? And why now of all times? To think I'd actually see her again. What were the chances? I slowed down a bit once I reached the supermarket and resumed tidying the shelves. Trying to get her image out of my head, but all I could see was her in her black suit. She looked really good in it. I grit my teeth and shake my head to get the mental image out of my system. Focus on work, Umiko. You're still on the clock. I can think about her after work. Wait, what am I talking about? No, Umiko, you're not gonna think about her. What the heck? Ume-chan. Ah! I jump in bewilderment as Ringo-chan comes up to me without noticing. Me noticing. Ringo-chan's eyebrows arc and tilt her head in a confused manner. What's wrong, Ume-chan? You look like you just saw a ghost. I compose myself and act nonchalant. Nothing. I'm fine. Ringo-chan squints her eyes at me and looks me up and down with a judging gaze. I know I probably can't hide anything from her since she's known me for a good 4 years since I started here. Practically my best friend, she absolutely knows that I'm not fine even though I say I am. Uh-huh, totally. But anyway, yo, wanna go to the new perfume boutique after work today? If only you knew. If only you knew. My entire body freezes hearing the new perfume boutique, and the embarrassing memories of just 10 minutes ago rise up again, causing me to die a little on the inside. Take a deep breath to calm myself down and coolly reply, no. What? Come on. Why not? Get her to stop talking. I pretend I'm busy moving these bag of noodles by the centimeter. I'm just not interested. Eh? Okay, then just come accompany me. No. Come on. Ume-chan, pretty please? Begin to ignore her please and continue working. Buy your favorite bottle of yuzu sake. My ears perk up and I look at her, asking her telepathically if she's serious. I'll even buy you the big bottle. Now my eyebrows raise in interest. Those aren't cheap, you know. That's 3,000 yen you could spend elsewhere. Exactly, and that's why I'm bribing you with it. She smiles a Cheshire cat-like smile. She knows me too well. Will alcohol win me over just like that? Fine, I'll go. Wow, you were really hard to convince. Yatta! But only for a little. Only for a little bit, then I'll just buy you the small bottle unless you want the big bottle. Fine, that's fair. Then let's head over together after our shift. Ringo-chan jumps up and down in glee as if she's a child that just coerced her mom into buying a toy for her. I can't wait. She then leaves me to return to her job after striking the deal, and I think to myself how I'm going to face that girl again. You just have to act cool, calm, and collected, Umiko. She's just a girl. A hot girl. Yeah. I smack myself in the head lightly and wonder why I'm so hung up on this one girl. I barely know her and I met her once. Also wasn't the best first impression either. So, why am I like this? Smack my head again a little harder this time. Get back to work, Umiko. And so I dread the remaining hours until Ringo-chan drags me to the perfume store after work. We arrived shortly at the perfume store, and although there's surprisingly less people than there were before, it's still quite a sizable amount taking glances at the tall, hot worker. And then we take a deep breath and head to the battlefield, trying my best to blend into the crowd so she doesn't see me. Ringo-chan leads the way and I begin looking around the shelves, like I'm suddenly really into perfume. Ringo-chan's gaze, on the other hand, is staring intensely at the star of the show just like everyone else is. I know everyone told me that she was hot, but damn is she hot. It totally blew my expectations out of the water. I stealthily take a quick peek at the subject in question. She looks just as good as I remembered, and oh my god, her smile, what the hell? She's smiling genuinely as she converses with the customer in front of her. I've only ever seen her smirks and sleazy smiles, but her genuine smile is something else. You can see why everyone's crazy over her. Just look at her. I know, I just did. You know, for a lesbian, you sure don't seem interested in such a fine specimen. I don't have to like every good-looking girl in the world, you know? It would be good for my heart if I did. It wouldn't be good. Let me correct that. It's not that I'm not checking her out. I've already had my fair share. Plus, I don't want to get caught checking her out again. On top of that, I feel like the more I look at her, the more my brain will completely wipe out my odd encounter with her and make me fall in love. I walk to another island of displays to get away from Ringo-chan's fangirling. A peculiarly shaped pink bottle catches my eye, and my hand subconsciously reach to examine it. Pick up the little jar filled with cotton sitting in front of the bottle, which I presume to be the sample, and wait the smell near my nose. Oh no, is this a familiar scent? A light floral scent reminiscent of spring enters my nose alongside a hint of a citrus-like scent. The fragrance gives off a pleasant atmosphere, suitable for a nice young lady that has a pinch of spice in her. I might just add this to my wish list, but my decision to do so disappears without a trace when I see the price. Damn. What is that, 200 bucks? Gently put down the small sampler and reevaluate my needs and wants. Maybe if I ever get a raise. Are you perhaps interested in this fragrance, dear customer? No, sorry, I'm just... Turn my head to address the worker that's probably coaxing me to get the perfume, but I freeze in place I'm met face to face with the one person I didn't want to interact with. Right in front of me is the woman that everyone and their mom has been trying to get their hands on, and I can feel my heart skip a beat seeing a professional side up close and personal. Browsing. Oh, is that so? Looks around nearby and peruses the shelf of perfumes, picking up a small squarish bottle and a sample. If you like that other scent, you might want to try this one. She hands the sampler to me and I take a whiff of the smell. This one is Need You. I'm just gonna say that. It has fruity top notes such as lemon and pink pepper with rose and mandarin blossom, middle notes of the sea and flowers such as white flowers and jasmine, ending with heavy notes like sandalwood and ambroaxin coupled with white musk. It's a unisex scent that's very soft and delicate, all the while leaving a lasting impression. Great for people just getting into the perfume scene. Ah yes, $200 is great for getting into the perfume scene. Got it. The smell of this one hit a little stronger, but the scent is much more memorable and distinct compared to the previous one. Sorry, I had to pause the video real quick to let a cat out. He was meowing quite insistently. The smell of this one hit a little stronger, but the scent is much more memorable and distinct compared to the previous one. I think I actually like this one more. She seems to be quite knowledgeable and good with recommendations. Let me know how you feel about this one and which scents you like about it. I can point you towards the one that will hit the sweet spot for you if this one doesn't do the job. The girl smiles her customer service smile at me as she waits my answer. As much as I would love to walk out with a bottle today, I can't be spending this amount of money haphazardly. And the sampler back to her and decline her offer. This one is nice, but maybe I'll come back another day to explore and decide. I'm a little short on time today. The sampler and its bottle gets returned to its original spot on the shelf, and she nods in understanding. That's alright, we'll welcome you back anytime. Our shop is open every day from 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Hours will differ during certain holidays. Ah, thank you. Excuse me, do you have any recommendations for first-time perfume users? The perfume shop employee turns to face the intruder and smiles her customer service smile like she did to me. Yes, if you'll come with me. Before she goes through, she turns to me and bids me goodbye. Please feel free to look around the store and ask any further questions you may have. The attention on me dissipates and my spotlight dims as she leaves to help the other girl, but not before whispering a cryptic message. And thanks again for the bed. Eyes widen at her words, trying to figure out if the thanks was for the few nights ago. Does this mean she recognized me? Gasp! Ume-chan. How did you get her to talk to you, you lucky bastard? Finger-chan's sudden outburst drags me out of my thoughts, and I try not to get dizzy from her shaking me vigorously. I literally did nothing. You. She releases me and bites her finger in vain, jealous of me getting to talk to the new celebrity of them all. Oh, now I have another cat that's sitting on my lap. I'm pretty popular tonight, I guess. I give her an unamused look. Not like I asked for her to talk to me. Alright, enough moping. Are you done here? Let's go get some food. I'm hungry. Just a second, her face returns to her usual energetic self. Oh, sounds good. Let's go to the new pasta place in Shinjuku. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally skipped past that. Just like how fast she dragged me here, she drags me to the new pasta place and we soon depart from the mall, eager to fill up our stomachs with foreign food. I still wondered though. She did recognize me, didn't she? Oh my gosh, don't be dense. It's been a week now, the perfume shop is still as busy as ever. There's always plenty of people every time I pass by when I get off work. But I haven't had the guts to go up and interact with her again. What would I even say? Wow, fancy seeing you here. I work here too. What a coincidence. Let's go out for dinner sometime. There's no way I can say that. Besides, what does she have to do with me? I let her stay over for one night and that's at the end of the story. There's probably nothing more. Most likely. Am I expecting something more? I squirted myself to get the thought out of me. No. But it'd be nice. We have some sort of connection, I think. Shake my head. No, I'm definitely coping and getting delusional. Stop fussing over Umiko. What are the odds she's interested in you anyway? She must have a ton of people on her tail. Besides, wasn't she bad news? Remember how our first meeting went, where she got pushed over by someone and they were yelling at her something about a plaything? Maybe I'm just missing context. And I suddenly really want to drink. I slam my locker door shut and make my way to one of my favorite bars. It's a Friday night. I can relax a little, can't I? I end up at one of my usual bars and sit by my lonesome swirling a glass of alcohol. Sometimes I wonder if I have an alcohol addiction. You've wondered that a lot in such a short span of time. I should lay off drinking for a while. That's the resort I always go to when I'm troubled. I continuously mindlessly scrolling through Instagram and get lost in the multiple photos of the good-looking people and a couple photos. My non-existent love life is yet again resurfaced when I want to bury into the depths of hell. Put my phone down in frustration and sigh. Why are you trying to find love so hard? Why can't I just meet someone organically, hit it off with them, and, I don't know, start dating? Maybe being a lesbian wouldn't be so hard if I was in a more liberal country. Sigh another sigh and look around for a possible imaginary candidate. Not necessarily expecting to be picked up by sitting here alone. And besides, most people that approach me are men anyways. I could care less. But you know, it'd be nice if I could just meet a girl that could sweep me off my feet. Wouldn't mind going home with her. It's a Friday night after all. Preferably someone cute. Hot. All of a sudden the image of the stray girl, now perfume girl, flashes my mind. Shake my head and wake up from my train of thought. Why did I think of her? Again. Click my confused self by taking a sip of my drink and distract myself by scouting for any eye candy at the bar tonight. My eyes began wandering around the vicinity. The place is quite busy tonight, seeing that's a Friday. Still not packed yet. That would come later into the night. Music is just at the right volume, and it's accompanied by the chattering of people nearby. I take a sip of my Long Island iced tea and notice a pair of women at the end of the bar counter. One of them has long, light brunette hair tucked behind one ear, eyelashes fluttering as she blinks, lips smiling in a charming smile. Kind of looks like... Immediately do a spit take when I realize who it is and instinctively hide my face from her view while still spying on her. Chuckles aloud and I see a better angle of her face. There's no doubt that it's her. Is she with a friend? Or are they girlfriends on a date? The girl's casually playing footsies with her perfume girl as she talks, making it clear as day that she's flirting. Doesn't seem like perfume girl is retracting her foots. Maybe it's mutual. This be a date then. I should hurry and finish this drink before she notices me. Though to be fair, why should I hide from her? It's not like I did anything bad to her. I see her whisper into the other girl's ear and get up from her seat. And naturally looks the other way as she passes by, making sure she doesn't see my face even though we're 15 feet away. The perfume girl saunters away to the direction of the washroom, leaving the other girl all alone. Breathing a sigh of relief, I have to down this drink and get the bill before she comes back. As I finish my drink and hail down someone for the bill, I notice the girl at the bar counter acting a little suspicious. She pulls the drink close to her and it soon hides her behind her body out of my line of sight. Just a few seconds later, she inconspicuously slides the drink back to where it was before. Let out a small gasp. I can't believe what I just saw. Did she just drug her drink? No way. Oh, sorry about that. Though I technically didn't see it happen since it was hidden from my view. It was totally what she did. What else could it have been? Is it just gonna be her taking a sip from it? I look in the direction of the washroom. It seems the perfume girl hasn't come back yet. Waiter comes and hands me the bill while I nervously slam down cash to pay while I contemplate my decision. Should I go tell her? Wait, why am I carrying again? This has nothing to do with me. It was exactly like that one time I picked her up from the streets because I felt bad for her. Except this time it isn't just a rain shower in the night she's getting. This time her life could actually be in danger. Who knows what this creep will do to her? I find my lip in hesitation. Inner moral compass in me is battling against the I don't give a damn side of me, and unfortunately the former is winning by a huge margin. I get up and speed walk to the washroom. I'll just warn her, that's all. She can do whatever she wants with the information given. I fling open the washroom and find her standing right beside me. Whoa there. Oh? I meet her with her soft, smoky eye makeup and her sophisticated smelling perfume once again. What a coincidence seeing you here. You, that woman you were talking to, she just spiked your drink. Don't drink it. Oh, do I have myself a little stalker? Puts me in a stun lock from her accusation. This isn't even the matter at hand. Stalker my ass. I just so happen to be here as well. What? I can't go to bars. Haha, whoa, calm down. I was just joking. Regain my composure, take a deep breath, and down my volume back. So, what's this about spiking my drink? When I went to the washroom, I saw her put something in your drink. Well, I didn't exactly see her doing it, but she pulled your drink close and probably did something to it. So, don't drink it. Also, why are you so dumb as to just leave your drink unattended like that? Well, I had to go pee. What can I do? Roll my eyes in disbelief. Please finish your drink before going to the washroom. Anyways, you should probably find a reason to ditch her because she appears suspicious. Well then. A woman walks towards me and corners me against the wall and rapturing me in the smell of her perfume yet again. Maybe you can give me a reason. Her eyes are sending a jolt of electricity through me solely with her lustful gaze and sly smirk. I can't help but panic a little. I know I had thoughts of possibly not minding going home with someone tonight. Now I'm suddenly getting cold feet since it's her I'm dealing with. Really push her away. I don't sleep with just anybody. She laughs out loud in infectious laughter. You literally slept with her, like, just having met her. I know they mean something else, but you literally slept in the same bed. I think there's just some irony in that. Wasn't thinking about a one-night stand, but I like how that's the first thing you thought of. You were totally thinking it. Her smile was all it took to prove that she was, even though she's denying it. Rushed towards the exit in fear that she might pull something again and give her one last look. Well, either way, I played my part of being a good Samaritan and warned you, so don't come blaming me if you get in any trouble. Make my way out of the washroom in the bar. Did my job, and that's all. Why am I feeling unsatisfied? I start making my way to the train station in the dark, and I had to stop myself from thinking too much, but I get stopped in my tracks. Hey, wait. The mysterious girl's voice rings through the area despite all the boisterous voices filling the air. Her voice causes me to turn back and find her at the bar's entrance, running towards me, a less sleazy look than before. How about a drink to thank you for looking out for me? And I guess a thanks for helping me out that one night as well. Give her a dubious look. On me. My eyebrows raise in shock and interest. Her inner alcoholic is peaking. Doesn't to accept her offer, but if she's nice enough to buy me some drinks, who might have declined free drinks? My eyes look around to make it seem like I'm contemplating hard. I don't want to seem that easy. Well, if you insist. Her face lights up with a big smile. Perfect, and now I have a reason to leave that other girl. You're doing a good deed by accepting my offer, like the good Samaritan that you are. Uh-huh, right. So where to? Her arms gesture a lady's first motion. Lead the way, and probably quick before I get chased down. Ooh, free drinks and I get to choose where. How generous. Okay, Miss Perfume Girl, follow me. Miss Perfume Girl? She cackles as she follows my footsteps to the destination. I have a name, you know. Well, I never had a chance to learn it, so you're Miss Perfume Girl because you work at the perfume store. Yuzuha. Kirino Yuzuha. Yuzuha. Not only unexpected name, expecting something more unisex. And yours? Or should I just call you Miss One Night Stand? Added her sarcastic comment signifying that I didn't find it funny. Asahina Umeko. Umeko-chan, huh? Are we that close already to use such a casual honorific? Cute name. Cute name? Continue walking, pretend I didn't hear her comment to give an excuse not to reply. Try walking faster so I don't face her, but due to her long legs, she always ends up ahead of me and I have to catch up. Being slightly behind her has its perks though, as it gives me some time to sneak glances up at her and study her some more up close. Her straight face gives the impression that she's the cool, quiet, and brooding type. I notice again, but her two beauty marks on her left cheek giving her a unique and a distinct appearance. Each step of hers exudes a sense of confidence, as if she doesn't care who in the world is looking at her. She garners many stares from passerbyers, just like at the mall. She's a celebrity wherever she goes. I don't even know if she's aware that there's constantly a spotlight on her. Her eyes suddenly look towards me and I hurriedly look away in the road ahead, hoping I didn't get caught. Nothing comes out of her mouth, which leaves the little time that we spent walking together quiet. Makes the journey a lot slower than expected, even though the bar is only a few streets down. Eventually we arrive at the nearby bar, my throat itching for some free drinks. We take a seat by the bar, as the place is already packed and filled with people. Her height is emphasized again when she needs to look down a little when speaking to me. So, what will it be? Should I order the most expensive drink? Not rich, but that's what you want. Stifle a smile due to my excitement at getting an expensive drink, but try my best to maintain a poker face. Guess go easy on your wallet. Money doesn't grow on trees, after all. Get the bartender's attention to put in my order. I'll take a gin on the rocks, please. Good choice, I'll take what she's having. My thumbs twiddle as the silence starts after the bartender leaves, but luckily she begins a conversation, saving me from needing to be the one that initiates. Were you drinking alone just earlier? My thumbs twiddle even faster in fear she might judge me for drinking alone, but I answer truthfully. Yeah. You usually drink alone? Depends, but yeah. It's fun to have company, but drinking alone helps clear my thoughts sometimes. Very deep. You seem like a very introspective person. Can't help but laugh. I can't tell if she's sarcastic or not. Ah, do I? Yeah, it's not that deep. That was the impression I got, yeah. Bartender brings her drinks over in front of us, and I bring it to my mouth to taste the spicy chilled liquor. But if you ever need a drinking buddy, you should hit me up. I'm a heavyweight drinker, so don't force yourself to be a drinking buddy. Brings her a glass of gin to her faintly red lips and takes a sip of the orange liquid. Hey, I wouldn't extend such an offer if I myself couldn't hold my liquor, would I? Take another sip and internally doubt her claim. But let's see what she's made of. Someone that can match my alcohol tolerance. I'd like to see that happen, actually. Not many people can rival me, so I've been told. Ooh, so scary. Wonder if you're bluffing. Just you wait. Oh, so it's settled. Drinking buddies. Raises her half-empty glass in the air, awaiting a clink on my end with a smug smirk on her face. Drinking buddies. Never signed up for one, but I also badly want her to show her what I'm made of. I clink her glass of mine and make a deal with the devil. Drinking buddies. We toast to the new friendship, and I can't help but smile a little, seeing our relationship has strangely changed since the day we first met. Most of my friends end up passing out or never drinking enough to satisfy me, so I never will get the chance to drink my heart's content with my company. Another reason why I like drinking by myself. That might actually change with Yuzuha. I smile again, thinking about gaining a new drinking buddy, but my smile quickly turns into a quizzical look when I realize something. But wait, were you drunk on the night I met you? So how much did you drink that night to get drunk? Are you actually bluffing this entire time about being a heavyweight? Yuzuha laughs and looks at me with a smirk. I said I was drunk that night. So you were pretending to be drunk. Why? So a cute, pretty girl would take me home. The answer was so ridiculous that it renders me absolutely speechless, and all I can do is gape and reply. If I could slap her for being such a scum, I would. Except someone beats me to it. A woman comes storming up to us and grabs Yuzuha by the shoulder, landing a hard slap on her pretty little face. Damn, okay, is this the girl from the other bar? Body freezes on the spot, trying to process the event going on in front of my eyes. You soulless piece of shit, how dare you break up with my friend like that? Through text. What are you, a 15-year-old boy who can't break up with someone face to face? Oh, this is just somebody else. This is the Womanizer, I guess. Grow up and stop playing around with people's feelings. Just who do you think you are? Just because you're hot shit doesn't mean you can act like an asshole. Yuzuha doesn't argue back. All she does is sit there, accepting and yelling with an indifferent facial expression. They're awkwardly waiting for the scene to be over, but the girl drags me into it too. You, and she's stringing you along too. You better leave her right now, because she's a menace. You're just gonna have your heart broken, so let me save you the trouble and tell you now. As widen her assumption, I shake my head violently, showing that I have nothing to do with Yuzuha romantically. No, we're not together. Her attention on me quickly fades as she resumes reprimanding Yuzuha. You'll never let me or my friends see you ever again. You got that? You're lucky you only got a slap in the face today. If I see you again, I'm gonna do more than just a slap. Wow. Okay, I mean, I understand getting broken up with over a text is not like a great feeling, but really? Kind of violent. The biggest girl storms off, leaving me shell-shocked. Yuzuha, on the other hand, acts like nothing happened while sipping on her drink. Plenty of eyes are on us from the other customers in our vicinity, wondering what's going on, but they soon turn away now that the show is over. I feel like I probably shouldn't address what just happened. It's such a big elephant in the room that it's kind of hard not to. I take a sheepish sip of my drink to decompress after the show, but yikes. Thought she'd be a good girlfriend candidate now that I'm acquainted with her, but on second thought, maybe not. She seems to be a huge walking red flag. How unfortunate. Yuzuha then breaks the loud silence of her silvery voice. Are you afraid of me now? I looked at her to check if I heard her right. Afraid of me? Afraid of you? Me? Afraid of what? She nods her head at the door that the angry woman left through. After hearing all that, focus my gaze on the empty glass in my hand. What is there to be afraid of? That's your personal business, and none of it is mine. You're just a drinking buddy, don't get any ideas. Her low chuckle resonates through my ears despite the loud music surrounding us. Oh, I thought you were interested in me. I wasn't not interested in her, but after all that, I don't think I am anymore. Here's the answer, so I keep my mouth shut. No comment. Ha, then don't go falling for me now. Can't guarantee your heart won't be broken. You don't have to tell me that twice. I've already seen 2 accounts of heart breakage with you. Yuzuha tosses her head back with a hearty laugh. Guess you've already seen the worst sides of me, huh? Yeah, sadly. Laughs again with that seductive voice of hers. That's too bad. Since she's brought up the topic, I might as well ask her about it to keep the conversation going and find out more about her intriguing choices in life. Why are you being a scumbag and playing with all these girls and guys? People's hearts like that. First of all, girls. I'm a lesbian for the record. And expect her to be outrightly say it like that. Second of all, it's technically not my fault. I make it clear that it's casual. They all just end up catching feelings and wanting to be serious about it. When that happens, I dip. That explains a lot. Yeah, he plans to settle down then. She scoffs and downs the rest of her drink. Settling. Settling down will only hurt you. There's no such thing as the one, no matter how badly you want it to be true. Constantly wondering if the one is out there and trying to find them will just keep you running in circles getting nowhere. You might find someone and think they're the one, but just watch. They're the one until they're not, whether it's over an argument or miscommunication or lack of wanting to try or whatever. So what happens when you break up? Find the next one. This means there isn't, the one. The one is who will make it to be the one. But putting your all in will just hurt you. Besides, where's the fun in settling? I know she's kind of playing it like, let's show me kind of the history right here. Oh, apparently that's a little bit broken. Probably because I resized it, but I think she's making a good point. Like, don't search your whole life for the one. The one is the one you end up staying with. It's not like you were searching for them. It just so happened to end up like that. And it seems like she's been with a lot of people that wanted commitment, and they ended up getting in fights, and they weren't the one, I guess. Maybe she'll end up staying with the right person. I wonder who that could be. Interesting. I like the adventure. There's always something new to do, see, and try. Without the commitment and without the hurt, what more can you ask for? Sounds like a fuckboy, but in female form. The rank can't seem to wrap around her method of thinking and approaching love. I have a feeling she got hurt in the process once and vowed never to fall in love. Or something like that. I definitely met a girl like her. Kinda got hurt, and then never really wanted to fully commit after that. Not somebody I dated, just somebody I knew. Or I've seen it on a TV show once. So in order not to get hurt, you hurt other girls' feelings instead. How long have you been doing this for? About 4 years now. 4 years of breaking girls' hearts left and right? How old are you? 27. Oh. I actually just turned 27. As of when I'm recording this, it'd be yesterday. It's nice to play a visual novel that has characters my age. I can just say that. I did play the high school game that Team Anpim put out, which was really good. I do gotta say that. Like, I'm not gonna hate on it, but I generally dislike having to play high school games. Not that I don't. I seem to always end up playing them just because they're pretty popular in Japanese media. But it's like, it's nice to play one with older characters that I can actually kind of relate to. I don't really drink, so I guess I don't relate in that sense, but... Oh, 2 years older than me. I thought you were my age or younger. Oh, then you better start calling me senpai from now on. No, in your dreams. Anyways, it's been 4 years since you steadily dated someone. 6, actually. I took a 2-year break before starting my casual romantic escapades. Like I said, I made it clear that I made 100% clear that I don't intend on spending my entire life with them. They always just end up wanting something more even when I tell them I can't give them that. If they're looking for the one, it's not me. So I leave as soon as they start showing signs that they want to be exclusive. Simple as that. It's a very different life than I chose, because I actually got married 4 years ago and did end up being exclusive. It's hard to be in a relationship. I don't blame people for maybe not wanting to dive into that. I think a lot of people would consider 27 as getting older, right? And you know, I'm 27 now, and I do feel like I'm getting older. But at the same time, I have friends that are, you know, around my age, and they're not like settled down or committed to anybody. And it's like, you know, go at your own pace. I don't really recommend going around breaking girls' hearts, but it's fine if you're still dating, if you're still seeing what's out there. You don't need to find the one, you know. I think that was kind of the message. The one is the one you end up staying with. And so if you find someone and you end up getting along and you're staying with them for long term, then they were the one. But you don't know that until you're with them for a long period. You never developed any deeper feelings for any of the girls you went out with. Nope. That's really odd. You haven't had hadn't truly loved any of them. Nope, I liked them, but not enough to create a future with them. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah, that's life, you know? It may feel like a long time, but it goes by quick. Only do casual things and friends with benefits. Oh, so you're a womanizer. Eyes go big as she gets a eureka moment. Why, yes, I guess I am. It definitely has a nicer ring to it. Rolls off the tongue nicely. I facepalm in disbelief. That wasn't supposed to be a compliment. All I can think of is that song by Britney Spears. That's the song that comes to mind. Her big, beaming, prideful smile gives off an immature and almost innocent look, even though the descriptor I gave her is nowhere near innocent. I'll take it as a compliment anyways. I shake my head and sigh. I can't tell if she's being serious or if she's pulling my leg. Aren't you tired? Constantly jumping from girl to girl? Not gonna lie, a little. It's been 4 years after all. Wow, 4 years, eh? Tell me about it. Better off than getting hurt. The saying that hurt people comes to mind. Like sometimes people get hurt and they start replicating that so that they don't get hurt in the same way. You know, if I hurt them first, they're not gonna hurt me, right? You know, I think it just really ends up with everybody getting hurt that way. Geez, who hurt you that bad for you to think like that? Or have you always thought this way? Yuzaha looks down at her empty drink and snickers with a bittersweet smile. The most serious look I've seen from her since I met her, not including her work mode. Who hurt me indeed? Takes a deep breath and waves with the bartender's attention. Excuse me, 2 shots of tequila, please. Bartender hands over our shot glasses in a flash, and she pushes me one of them. She returns to her old smug self and looks at me with a cocky smile. The point is, don't go falling for me. I won't. Trust me. Oh ho, I want to see you try. I want to wipe back and see a smirk of hers off her face. Easy enough. Okay, bet. Raises her shot glass towards me, and my haughty side prematurely accepts the challenge of the mindless bet with a clink of 2 shot glasses. I chug the burning tequila down my throat and Yuzaha mimics my action. Bet. Our eyes meet and stay fixated on each other's colored orbs for a second longer than I'd like, but I break the contact and proceed to order another drink. Does she think I'm that easy to fall for someone carrying huge red flags? Come on. I'm smarter than that. I wonder how many girls have said that. Oh, I'm not gonna fall for the bad boy or the bad girl. You know, I'm smarter than that. I see older red flags. I would never. Sure, taking advantage of these free drinks, huh? You did say you were gonna pay for it all, so you can't back down now. Well, before you make me go bankrupt, she slides her phone over the Ryan app and open and points to it. Need your Ryan ID. Everyone raised eyebrows, suspicious of her motives. I have to contact you somehow if you're gonna be my drinking buddy, right? Fair point. Quickly type in my Ryan ID and she hits the send friend request button. How to make your acquaintance, drinking buddy. I return her signature smirk without showing any signs of submission. Glad to make your acquaintance. We drink into the night for a little longer. As the hour progresses further into the night, I give mercy to her wallet and we soon leave the bar, parting ways at the station. Not to mention we both have work early tomorrow. Back to reality, I guess. Well, thank you again for the drinks. I appreciate it. No problem, I owed you anyways. I get a drinking buddy. That already makes it a great night. Just let me know whenever you need a drink. I'll always say yes for the most part. I'll take your word for it. The train arrives with a loud roar and the door slides open for all the passengers to exit and enter. Joins the crowd and bids me farewell. Good night and get home safe. The door closes and the distance between us grows further and further as the train rides off in the distance. I Maybe she's not so bad after all. Wait, no. No, Umiko. She may not be so bad after all, but you can't go falling for her. She's a boastful, heartless womanizer and player. She'll never reciprocate your feelings anyways. Most importantly, you can't lose that bet. That's the most important thing, surely. I find it interesting. One thing that's been different so far from the other Team Anpim stories is that there hasn't been any CGs yet. I feel like we usually get one kind of early on, like just one, and then we get like, you know, the last two kind of towards the end. Hopefully there is going to be a few, because I want to see the nice scenes. I stifle a big yawn as I continue to restock the chocolate mushroom candies on the shelves, rubbing the tiredness from my dry eyes. Take a look at my watch and see that there's still 30 minutes left in the clock. Maybe after I'm done restocking the area, I'll go scout the bento section and see what's left. So I can catch a good end of the day discount. Maybe I can buy some Chuhai drinks to go with it. Then I'll probably head straight home to catch up on that Korean street dancing reality TV show. Korean street dancing reality TV show. That's oddly specific. I wonder if that's a reference to something. Need to see the Japanese team dance battle. I'm really hoping they don't get eliminated. Thinking about tonight's relaxation night sends a wave of bliss healing me from my exhaustion. It's the only thing that can keep me alive for the day. I begin to flatten the cardboard box in the car and get ready to head to the next section, but an unexpected voice creeps into my ears, scaring me. Boo. Ah! Cover my ears from the tickle in my mouth to stop my scream, but that doesn't stop the stares I'm getting from the people in the aisle. Profusely bow and apologize to them, but they didn't seem to care too much, and just returned to browsing for their snacks. Oprah is busy snickering like a little child who just pranked their teacher successfully. Oh, he smack her on her arm and give her a disgruntled look. What the heck? Ah, sorry, I just had to. You seemed like you were in your own little world. I was, and you ruined it. Still trying to hold her laughter in from my initial reaction. Doesn't seem the least bit sorry. What are you doing here anyways? Being a customer, ma'am. Izal holds up and waves the bento in her hand at me. I thought I'd get some sweets for dessert and saw you in the aisle. Don't worry, I'm not a stalker. I'm like somebody. Takes me a while to register what she means, but the moment from the last time we met flashed across my mind. Oi, I wasn't stalking you. I just so happened to be at the same bar as you. Snickers again. Clearly she's having a blast teasing me. Give her an eye roll and a head shake. Okay, you can continue on with your shopping, then take my leave. Turn around and start trekking to the next section, but her hand lashes on the knot of my apron, stopping me in my tracks. Wait. Pulls me close and I can feel her breath in my ear again. How about a little dinner date with me? A bento party. There's her bento again as if it would entice me to say yes. It's gonna take more than that to convince me to give up my relaxation night for a bento party. And of course, we can't forget drinks. Maybe she knows me a little too well, despite us knowing each other for only 2 weeks. I'm in. Big smile appears in her face, knowing that her bait was 100% effective. But where? I'm not about to have a picnic at 7 p.m. outside in the dark. What about your place? You know, any sane person would pitch their own place first before volunteering someone else's place. My place is a mess, and you assume mine isn't. It looked pretty clean the last time I was there. The last time you were there was 2 weeks ago. Exactly, it's high time for me to visit again. I won't know if it's messy until I see it with my own eyes. Try to change the topic to deviate from the idea of going to my place. My apartment is my own safe sanctuary, and I'm not ready to let her intrude on it just yet, even if she did once already. So what, you came to invite me to a nice fancy dinner? You're gonna have to be my girlfriend if you want that to happen, Missy. Never mind, let's eat outside on a bench somewhere. Great, it's a sunny day too, though I still think your place would be better. Turn around to loosen her grip on my apron and cross my arms to show that I don't have time to play around. Why do I feel like you have some ulterior motive with you pushing to go to my place? Yuzawa's eyes look to the side with a mischievous smile on her face. Of course not. Sex fiend. Acts exaggeratedly surprised as if I just accused her of murdering someone. Whoa. Am not. I'm hurt you would even think that. Why would you assume that in the first place? Perhaps you're the sex fiend here, Naughty. A smug smirk comes back in a split second. She wags her finger at me as she pins the dirty-minded thoughts on me. Send her dagger eyes filled with judgment and disgust. Either way, we're not going to my place. Puts her hand up like a robber surrendering to the police and drops a smile, replacing it with a disappointed face. Okay, I get it. We'll eat outside on the bench. Maybe eating outside will give you some fresh air to clear that guttered mind of your... Asahina-kun, is everything alright here? My body instantly straightens up as an unexpected voice enters the conversation. Turn around to meet a supervisor and put on my customer service smile, albeit nervously. Yes, everything is... Yuzawa's hands touch my shoulder and I freeze up again. Her hands are warm as if I had heat packs put atop my shoulders. Feels surprisingly nice. Maybe it's just because my shoulders were getting cold from the air conditioning blasting in the supermarket. Yes, everything is fine. This dandy young lady was just helping me find the snack I was looking for. Feel a twitch in my smile as it falters, but I can see my best smile in front of my manager. Okay then, please continue on. He takes his leave and walks out of the aisle. The moment he does, my fake smile instantly disappears. Turn my attention to Yuzaha, and she looks at me with a small grin, almost like a puppy waiting for some command. It's all 20 minutes before my shift ends. Are you willing to wait that long? Looks around the store, surveying the size of it. Of course, I'm sure there'll be something here to entertain me for the next little while. Fairly easily entertained. A second and a half expected her to say she wouldn't be willing to wait, and I feel relieved that it turns out to be the opposite. I'll call you when I'm done. Sure. I proceed to resume my work duties, but turn around again to see if Yuzawa's left or not. She's still standing there facing my direction, her eyes meet 6 feet away. Her head tilts in a confused manner. There are free samples of the frozen food section if you want. Yuzawa dons a surprised expression, followed by a chuckle. Thanks for the tip. And with that, I leave her to her own devices and return to the remaining 20 minutes of work. After my shift, I looked around the area that Yuzawa said she's looking at. It doesn't take long to spot who I'm looking for among a crowd looking over at the bento section. Sticks out like a sore thumb, not just because of her height, but also because of her light hair color that contrasts the dark-haired masses of business attire looking to snatch the end of the day discounted bentos. She too seems really focused on the bentos, hand on her chin in a thinking pose. Squeeze through the crowd and poke Yuzawa to get her attention, causing her to flinch in reaction. Her head turns towards me and she sends a warm smile in my direction. Why are you staring so intently at the bentos, reconsidering your choice? I was just trying to guess which one you'd like. I look at the selection, it's dwindled from the last time I saw it. Only a few of the popular ones are left, and I'm sure the rest will only have a few remaining as well by the end of the hour. My favorite karage bento catches my eye, and my hand immediately darts to it to show it off to Yuzawa. Did you guess correctly? No, actually, I was under the impression you'd choose something healthier. Now that you know that I don't exactly have the healthiest of tastes, and hands her basket over and puts it in. Look inside and see your own bento along with a couple of snacks and a small variety of Chuhai beer. Here, let me pay for it. Oh? Are you sure? Shocked at her generosity. She already paid for my drinks the last time we met, and now she's willing to pay for my dinner, too. My puzzled face probably says 1,000 words as she answers my question. Yes. I'm asking you to accompany me, after all. I'm a little skeptical at first, but I end up bashfully putting it into her shopping basket. Just then a man bumps into me and almost makes me lose my footing, causing me to accidentally lean into Yuzawa. Apologies. Yuzawa holds my arm to steady me and I get a whiff of her signature perfume that's now become very familiar. A sudden skinship causes my heart to unexpectedly skip a beat and I silently reprimand myself for it. She glares at the man for a second before checking if I'm okay. It's getting crowded here. Let's go. Do you want to grab anything else before we leave? No. Yuzawa's hand position smoothly transitions from my arm to my hand and gently holds it to lead me out of the busy area. Her soft touch surprises me. I always thought she would be rough with people since she gives off such a bad girl image, but her grip feels compassionate and tender. I follow her like a pet being guided, subtly examining the hand guiding me. My hands are slightly bigger than mine with a healthy vitamin D-filled skin tone that makes my complexion look as though I'm a ghost. Just like before, I can feel her warmth radiating onto me where the contact is, this time being my hand rather than my shoulders. She'd be great to sleep next to during the winter months, wouldn't she? I know you shake the image out of my noggin. Maybe true, but why did I default to thinking that? Eases up her grip, and I suddenly notice we're already at the checkout, which jolts me out of my daydream. Is she working some kind of charm, wizardry, or what? Is that how she gets all the girls? She's too powerful. It's scaring me. After she checks out the items at the self-checkout, we start heading our way to the nearby bench I sometimes eat at. I leave my strange thoughts at the supermarket. The bench isn't far off and is situated next to a slow river looking out at the multitude of lit-up buildings across it. Only about a minute walk from the shopping mall, and it's a great place to get away from the hustle and bustle despite being so close to the metropolis. You can often see people going for walks or runs around here, so it's also a great place to do some people watching. The sun is still peeking out from behind the buildings, casting a deep orange hue into the sky that mixes harmoniously with the purples and blues. I sit down and make myself at home while Yuzaha looks around skeptically. Soon enough, she seats herself next to me as I prepare to dig into my dinner. I can hear my stomach rumbling as I open the lid and stare in awe at the simply a delicious bento in my lap. You know, I didn't think we'd actually be eating outside of the bench. I shed what I shed, I meant what I shed. A woman that's true to her word. I like that. Now she'll follow suit and begins to unravel her grilled beef bento. Good choice. Of course, I'm a woman of good taste, after all. I choke on my food at her comment. What are you laughing about? You don't think that's true? No comment. You see all the girls I've dated. As a fellow lesbian, you would also. Stops mid-sentence and raises a questioning eyebrow, looking puzzled. Are you a lesbian? I don't think I've ever asked. Do you just assume I was a lesbian this entire time? Eyes look away guiltily and flashes me a small, timid smile. I might have. My bad. I'd like to think my gaydar is pretty strong. However, do correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't mean to assume anything. Now that I think about it, I don't think I said anything about my sexuality. I just kind of went with the flow whenever she made moves and dodged them. I usually keep my sexuality under wraps since there's never much of a chance to even bring it up to anyone aside from dates or close friends, but she's also a lesbian. I feel safe enough to unveil the secret. Yes, you assumed right. I'm pretty gay. She snaps her finger and winks at me. Bingo, told you my gaydar is good. But even if you weren't, I wouldn't be surprised if you fell for my charms. Felt many women who thought they were straight figure out what they want in life, you know? Rolled my eyes at her boasting about her life achievements. You're so conceited. I know. She shows me that complacent smile of hers once again, the one that I oh so want to erase every time I see it. To answer your previous question, no, I didn't want to see your horde of girls and exes. You're gonna make me envious for having so many girls while I, someone who's serious about getting a girlfriend, can't even get a single girl lately. Her eyes open wide in genuine shock as if she couldn't believe her ears. What? You've never seen a single woman before? Her eyes go back to their regular size and she shakes her head. But you're so cute. How are you single? I thought you declined my advances because you were taken. I nearly choke on the piece of chicken going down my throat again and I give her a bewildered and flushed face. You can thank my ex for making me single. And stop calling me cute. I'm being serious. I wasn't and still am not throwing that compliment around just to see you blush. Though I do find it kind of amusing. Yuzaha quietly snickers and I ignore her teasing by cracking open a can of flavored beer, downing as much as I can. Her bringing out my single status pains me as a little as flashbacks of my previous relationship resurfaces. It only lasted 4 months, but oh, it still hurts to remember the person you loved a lot slowly losing interest in you and eventually leaving. Damn, I had a relationship like that. Except it was over 6 months, and then they dropped like oh, I don't actually think I ever loved you. Yep, that's how that relationship ended. Good stuff. Take another swig of alcohol and stuff my face with the remaining rice residing in my bento. The wind picks up and my hair gets in the way of my food, and I'm too lazy to care right now. However, Yuzaha doesn't let that happen and helps brush my hair out of the way. Our first CG. Her mysteriously warm hand against my face catches me by surprise. It sends shivers down my spine as her fingers brush against the tip of my ear while tucking my windblown hair behind it. Careful, don't choke. And forget about your ex if you haven't already. I'm sure you'll find someone who will love you wholeheartedly. Funny, coming from someone who's hurt so many girls' hearts and doesn't believe in settling down. Hit the nail on the head, didn't I? Well, I might not want to settle, but you probably want to, right? I'm not hurting them, they're hurting themselves. But that's beside the point. Basically, you'll find someone eventually. Especially because from what I've seen so far, you're caring, kind, cute, feasible. She giggles again, probably thinking back to all the times she made me flustered. Even though all I've done is be curt to you, give only sharp replies and be mean to you. Throws her head back and laughs loudly, even though nothing I said was funny. You call that mean? Oh, you must have never seen mean before. She's right. She's probably seen and experienced a lot more, knowing the sheer amount of people she goes out with. Not to mention she's probably get slapped silly by all those heartbroken girls. Seen it happen twice already. How many people are willing to drag a random stranger home just because she was afraid to get rained on in the streets? Not many people would run after someone just to tell them that their drink is most likely tampered with. That's just because they care too much to a fault. I didn't want to do all that, I just couldn't help it. Yuzawa smiles at me in a tender manner, something I'm not completely used to seeing yet. You're a little different, you know that? Am I? I'm just your average girl next door. Cares too much for her own good. That's what I like about you. Our eyes lock into each other in the dark, and I can still make out the shine in her chocolate-colored eyes. As if my heart wasn't already thumping out of my ribcage, the drumming feelings inside of me speeds up after hearing the word like, and I can't seem to stop it. She was beating like mad as I still feel her warm hand shielding one side of my face in the breeze. Yuzawa moves closer, and it causes the grocery bag between us to rustle and break me out of my trance. I swiftly move away from her, and the chilly wind hits me where her hand was. I instinctively grab a beer from the grocery bag and hand it to her while trying my best not to look at her. You haven't had a drink yet. You should join me in drinking. You're my drinking buddy, right? Why aren't you drinking yet? In a state of panic, I hand over a random beer, and to my relief, she accepts it as if there wasn't a moment between us just a few moments ago. The loud crack of the can opening rings through the quiet surroundings, and the lull of the river travels back into my ears, alongside my bellowing heartbeat. I'm glad the lack of light is somewhat able to hide my tomato-fleshed face, or else I really wouldn't be able to face her ever again. When I take a peek at her, she's staring out to the river, drinking her lychee-flavored Chuhai beer. The lamppost dull light illuminates the place poorly. I can still see her well-defined profile view in her many earrings. She looks incredibly cool as she quietly drinks her beer like she's posing for a commercial shoot sponsored by the brand. Yuzawa could definitely be a model, with how tall and pretty she is. My heartbeat starts to rise again, so I immediately look away to get it to slow down. Sip my drink and settle into silence, albeit an awkward silence. She wasn't such a red flag, and if we didn't have that bed, I'd definitely be head over heels for her by now. We're just drinking buddies. That's all we are. Just drinking buddies. I'm perfectly fine with that. Suddenly she breaks the silence with a yawn and takes a big stretch, sprawling against the back of the bench. What time do you have to go? I assume you have work tomorrow. Check my phone for the time and see the screen showing 9:03 p.m. How did 2 hours pass by already? I have work tomorrow, yeah, but I don't usually sleep until midnight anyways. I see you're a night owl. What about you? Do you have work tomorrow? Yeah, but it's a closing shift, so start a little later. No need to sleep early tonight. I see you're also a night owl. I think we have a lot of things in common, huh? Yeah, somehow. Maybe we were destined to meet each other. I toss a can of beer at her, and she manages to catch the unsuspecting object despite almost dropping it. Hit it out with the sappy stuff. What the heck? She puts the can back in the bag and finishes her current drink in a few guzzles. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Suddenly her phone screen flashes on and it vibrates against the bench, signaling an incoming call. Yuzawa looks down and quickly locks the phone to stop the vibration. Not gonna answer that. No, I'm with you right now. Wouldn't it be like a little rude of me to answer a call while I'm talking to someone? Yeah, but I don't really mind. Might have been one of your many girlfriends. Make it sound like I'm seeing 10 girls at once. Are you not? Opens another can and takes a sip from her new beer. Just who do you take me for? Cross my arms and think for a bit. I don't know, a bona fide Casanova or something like that. After hearing my comment, she bursts out in a huge laughing fit, slapping her knee from laughing too hard. Oh man, you're hilarious. Oh god. Her finger wipes the tears of joy rolling down her eyes. What, am I wrong though? She goes into another laughing fit, I just ignore until she calms down. It takes her about another minute or so to collect herself and she continues to wipe her tears. I mean, the most I've seen at once is 3 girls. I can't juggle more than that simultaneously, I don't think. 3 girls is still a lot, honestly. Yeah, not doing that again after I just got stuck with 2 max at once. 2 max, I feel like the normal thing to say is 1 max. How many are you seeing now? Why do you want to know? Why can't I know? I'm just curious, there's really no other reason. Builds in her laughter and successfully suppresses it without making a snarky remark. Nah, just the one girl that called. Look down at her phone, suspecting that her lady friend is going to call again. Should probably call her back or something she might be wearing. She can wait. I'll call her when I get home. Look down at my phone again, see that another 15 minutes has passed by. Why did time abruptly get faster? Speaking of home, I think it's time to go. Are you saying that just to get me to call my girl back? No, I'm saying that because it's getting late and slightly chilly. You don't even have a jacket. Shrugs in a nonchalant manner and stands up while proceeding to finish her drink. I don't get cold easily. But since you're so insistent on going home, I guess we can start heading to the station. She's up against to pick up our garbage and the remaining drinks we didn't get to finish. Help her tidy the bench sheepishly and suddenly start feeling bad for ending the party. You're making me sound like a party pooper. Yeah, I'm trying to make you feel bad. Give her a concerned frown to show her that the ploy is working very well. Stop looking so sad, I'm joking. Ruffles my hair lightly and shoots me her signature smirk, reassuring me. A frown that turns into a peeved expression from her, messing up my hair, and I go to put the stray strands back in their places. Alright, Grandma, let's get you home into bed. Her long strides start without waiting for me and making me lag behind with my tiny steps. Well, this is where we part ways, I guess. I stop and look at the diverging paths leading to our different train platforms. Thanks again for the meal today. Don't worry about it, it was only 500 yen. I've been thinking this for a while, but I do genuinely feel bad because you keep paying for me. You can buy me a drink or food the next time we hang out. I wouldn't be surprised if you offer to pay again. And I vow to make you pay next time. Make sure you to stop me if I do end up paying. You say so. With that, she turns around to head towards her platform while sending a small wave goodbye. And a wink. See you next time. I watch her stroll up the escalators, blending into the crowd of people and disappearing in the distance without a trace. With her gone, I make my way to the designated platform and head home on the chilly night. As soon as I step into my apartment, I dart from my bed and faceplant into my pillow, letting the fatigue from the busy day sink in. I should really go shower and change out of my clothes before I fall asleep, but the pillow is just too comfy. In just a few minutes, I feel myself slowly fall into the depths of slumber, but then a message notification, a vibration in my hand jolts me awake. I'm close to ignoring the notification, assuming it's the usual banter from my friend group, but a certain player's name shows up on the screen instead. Unbeknownst to even myself, I perk up and the sleep in my body miraculously melts away. Roll my body on my back into a more comfortable position and hold my phone over my face and start replying to her. Look at that, we got a phone. Adding the leftovers to my collection that I can't ever seem to finish. Her photo shows the leftover cans of Chuhai beer in front of what seems to be an endless supply of beer in her fridge. The photo motivates me to get up from my bed to share my own fridge full of beer, but I can't lose to her. I position my phone to take the best angle that shows off my collection, not wanting to seem inferior. And send. Just a few seconds I see the 3 dots indicating that she's typing. Not bad. Oh, I can move it. The heck? That's so cool. Wow, Team Anpim really stepped up your game here. Okay, you need to check your messages though. Why is there 53? Glad to see you got home safe. I'm sorry, I haven't really been reading these aloud. In the middle of falling asleep until you messaged me. How should I have not messaged you then? Could have been fast asleep right now, but I don't exactly hate it that she messaged me. It's a good thing you messaged. I would have fallen asleep without showering and taking off my makeup. Call me a lifesaver. What about you? Maybe to bed. I don't have an early shift tomorrow anyways. But I'll let you rest. You said you have to get up early, right? Thanks again for coming out with me tonight. You don't have to thank me, but I don't sleep until 12 anyways, I told you. Wait a few minutes for no further messages are returned. I guess the conversation ends here. Why do I feel like I'm being dragged along by her groove? Toss my phone under my blanket and start getting ready for bed. Maybe I'll try to sleep early tonight. Huh? What do you mean you can't make it? I'm already here at the station. I'm sorry, it's just that I suddenly got called to do something important by someone that may or may not be the new guy I just met. So you're ditching me, a friend of 4 years, for someone you just met. Listen, this is a crucial moment. This meeting could make the relationship or break it. I smacked my head, almost thinking that this is some sort of elaborate prank. But I get it. I give her a big groan, but decide to let it go. You owe me 10 drinks. Oh my god, thank you, I love you, Ume-chan. 10 drinks is quite a lot. But you know, maybe not for her. Yeah, now go before I change my mind. Thank you. She hangs up and I lean against the railing feeling lost. Now what? I look at the time of my phone and it reads 10:47 a.m. I came all the way out here for nothing and it's still early. I guess I can head home and sleep for the rest of the day. But I'm already out though, and plan to be out the entire day. We were supposed to go check out the new pop-up store here in Shibuya, but I guess that's not happening. Maybe I'll just go by myself. But it's not fun going out alone. I take a seat at a nearby bench and decide to look up Shibuya to see if there's anything special happening today that I can check out. I can also go grocery shopping and run errands, perhaps. I tap on the search bar and the recent history of me looking up a certain yuzu wine brand sparks an idea in my head. Yuzaha. I laughed to myself with my crazy idea. Would she even say yes on such a short notice? And assuming she's even free, knowing her, she's probably out with a girl or something. Open up Ryan and look for our conversation, which just so happens to be at the very top, right under Ringo-chan's. I'm probably gonna regret this, aren't I? My fingers go to type the request, making sure to sound as nonchalant as possible. Yo, wanna hang out today? At Shibuya? Stare at the bottom to see if there were 3 dots indicating that she's typing, but nothing. I didn't expect her to answer, but I still keep my eyes on the conversation window to catch her reply. A couple minutes pass and there's still no response. Whatever. I exit the conversation window and start making my to-do list to get my mind off of Yuzuha. I had no expectations anyways, and I don't have all day to just sit and wait for her to come hang out with me. But deep down, I can't help but feel a little dejected for some reason. Oh well. I get up from the bench and start making my way to the nearby Baiso to go shopping for some house supplies. Isn't that supposed to be like that cheap chain of Japanese stores? They have them here in the US as well. I think it's Daiso. Yeah, so she called it Baiso, and we have Daiso. Right as I embrace my journey to my beloved 200 yen store, a notification rings from my phone and I quickly check to see who it's from, hoping it's Yuzuha. Even though I tried to lower my hopes in case that it's Ringo-chan calling again, I feel my heart light up a little when I see Yuzuha's name next to the Rhine logo. The app opens up to our conversation. I almost dropped my phone when I see what was sent. Give me a bit, I'm changing. I'll be there in 20 minutes, is that okay? Meet you at the station, yeah? Whoa! Okay, getting a little flirty. What the heck? The photo doesn't show anything crucial, but the sight of her bare collarbone gives it such a devilish vibe that I almost feel guilty for looking at it. Looked like there was like a mole or something there too. Collarbone is well defined, along with her jawline, both being complemented by her cascading mixture of light and dark hair. Her tongue sticks out as if she's teasing you, knowing full well she gave you a preview, not the full image, leaving out the rest on purpose. She knows exactly what she's doing, and I'm here falling for the bait. I can't help it that she has a nice figure. She's slim and tall with features that are very attractive. Honestly speaking, she's hot. I realize I've been staring at the photo for a few minutes too long and quickly reply to her message. Yeah, outside the station. I lock my phone and put it away in my pocket, but the image of her collarbone still remains burned in my head. Ah, stop playing with me, Yuzuha. I try to delete the image out of my head, but to no avail. I still see it clearly in my mind's eye. Just think of her as eye candy and nothing else. Yeah, just eye candy. Do not fall for her. To get my mind off her, I start looking around at nearby stores and window shop. It'll kill some time before she gets here anyways. It doesn't take long for Yuzuha to arrive, and I return to the station to greet her. Yo, sorry for the wait. I tried to get here as fast as possible in such short notice. No worries. I really didn't expect you to agree to come out, though. Yeah, it was pretty random of you just to pop up in my notification like that, but I was thinking, why not? I didn't have anything planned today anyways. Interesting. I thought you'd be hanging out with your girls. I like my private time too, you know? That aside, where are we headed to, miss? To be honest, I didn't really have a plan in mind aside from my original plan of grocery shopping and running errands. I didn't plan anything exciting. Now I feel kind of bad for asking her to come out just to help me with errands. I was planning on going to Bizo to buy some housing supplies, but other than that, nothing much planned. Okay, let's start heading out then. As we trek our way to the well-known 200 yen store, Yuzaha starts to interrogate me to get rid of the silence between us. What brings you out here all by your lonesome, so lonely that you had to call me up? Well, I was supposed to go check on a pop-up store with a friend, but she ended up canceling at the last minute. Ah, some of a rebound. No, well, okay a little. But I already made my way here, so I didn't want to go straight home. I was planning on just running errands, but I took a shot in the dark and invited you out. She tilts her head and looks at me innocently with a big grin on her face. I'm at least honored that you thought of me. Don't be, honestly. Like I said, I don't have anything special planned, so if you have anything you'd like to see, feel free to pitch something. We can just go run your errands. I don't mind. Are you sure? Yeah, of course. Why not? I don't know. I dragged you all the way out here just to run errands. That doesn't sound fun at all. She shrugs indifferently and tilts her head while looking at me with big, round, brown eyes. Sounds fun to me. As long as you don't mind. Her hands pat me on the head comfortingly, consoling me in my worries. What about you? Don't you have better things to do than follow me around? Looks aside in a guilty manner and rubs the back of her neck. Her eyes then dart around as if she's on the lookout for someone that might be following her. You could say I'm on the run. On the run? First you were a serial dater, now you're a wanted fugitive. Just what kind of life do you lead? Smile turns into an uncomfortable grimace and produces a wincing expression. I told someone that I was supposed to be stuck at home dealing with a leaking pipe at home today, so... Is it one of your girlies? Yeah. I told we should stop seeing each other and she didn't take it too well. Facepalm and shake my head in disappointment. But also, what's new? Should you really be out here then? You should probably go home. I'm not doing anything special today anyways. Rather not awkwardly stand there and witness you get slapped for the 100th time. Aw, are you worrying about me? I'm worrying about myself and my sanity. I should be fine. It's okay if I get slapped, I'm used to it. I gave a distressed sigh, hoping it would show my endless contentment at her. Don't you think that sounds really not normal? I'm gay. I'm not normal in the first place. Arms then snake around my shoulder and pull me close with an evil grin. I stiffen up from the sudden skinship and keep a poker face while trying to predict her next move. And it's okay. I have you to help me out of such a situation should it happen, right? So you want me to be your meat shield and take the hit for you? Don't say it like that. You can be my pretend girlfriend and drive her away. Or something like that. I go with the word of girlfriend, but I try to keep up my poker face. The smile beaming from her face shows no signs of joking around, so I shake her arm off gently and decline her offer. Rather not get slapped in the face today, thank you very much. Then you better hope we don't run into her. She's pretty feisty, and knowing her, she'll definitely slap you. That is really reassuring. Think about it this way, it's a fair trade. You're using me as a rebound, and I'm using you as a fake girlfriend. It's a fair trade, isn't it? I look into the distance to think about it. No, it's not a fair trade. She laughs her infectious laugh, causing a few heads to turn our way. You should stop choosing to play with clingy girls. I don't only go out with clingy girls. There are plenty of others that know the boundaries and are also here to have fun. There are just some that get the lines blurred a lot. But I can't help it, they're too cute. How can I say no to such girls? She puts her hand on her heart and makes a little frowning, innocent face. I'm a softie on the inside after all. All I can do is give her a blank face and stare, as I, 1, don't know what to say to that, and 2, can't believe her. You really have to stop that. If you're truly a softie like you say you are, you should think about how heartbroken they'll be once you leave them after they catch more feelings than they should have. The guilty party looks away, knowing full well that I'm correct. And that's why I'm slowly getting rid of this last one, letting her down gently. Oh my gosh, you're learning? Are you finally getting over your player days? That must be a good influence on you. Sure, if that makes you feel better. That was sarcasm. Got a meowing cat over here. I have to give you credit, though. You did make me realize that maybe I am getting a little tired after you mentioned it that one night. Maybe it's time to take a break. Clasp my hands together in glee, hearing that the serial player is finally coming to her senses. I'm so proud of you. Her eyebrows raised in doubt at my statement. Was that sarcasm as well? No, I'm just happy for you. And happy for all the future girls that won't get their heart broken. Maybe you should take this break of yours as an opportunity to go soul searching or something. Go traveling, maybe. You might just figure something out about yourself and realize that Yuzaha isn't by my side, and I look back to retrace our steps and find my lost puppy. Yuzaha stands still looking at a certain shop to the right of us. The store sports a fancy yet minimalist exterior, and through the glass doors I see the inside painted a pure white with accents of black. It gives off a clean and spacious look, even though there's an array of perfumes lined up on the tables and counters. Reminds me a little bit of Yuzaha's store, and I can picture her in the black suit fitting in very well with this perfume shop. Yuzaha stops marveling at the store and quickly comes back to my side, ready to resume our journey. Sorry, I got distracted. Let's go. I survey the store that she looks so eager to go into once more. It's empty save for 1 or 2 or 3 people inside roaming around. Do you want to go in? No, it's okay. I was just looking. Even a 5-year-old could tell that she was interested in going in with the way she was staring at it earlier. I turn around and start walking towards the store, giving her no choice but to follow me. My eyes widen in confusion, the dark brown orbs ask me why. It's the least I can do since I dragged her out anyway. I'm in the market to buy a new perfume, maybe. Doesn't hurt to check it out. A smile immediately appears on her face, grinning from ear to ear like a child on Christmas Day. I can practically see a tail wagging. Hurriedly joins me in our little side quest to perfume shop, where I may or may not blow a hole in my wallet, depending on how well she can convince me. Right as we open the door, a blast of floral musky smells hits us, and a worker greets us promptly. Hello, dear customers. How are you today? We're doing great, thank you. Fantastic. Is there anything you're looking for today? No, we're just browsing. Alright, please let me know if you need anything. Worker slowly backs away, and Yuzaha spends no time getting straight to smelling the many scented elixirs on display. I tailgate her around as she sips that many perfumes on display and geeks out. Oh, smell this one. You might like this one. It has notes of pear and bergamot. Very clean. The strong smell of the perfume reminds me of the ones I smelled at Yuzaha's store a while back. The scent is similar yet distinctly different, one that I enjoy a lot. Yuzaha puts the sample down and quickly moves on to the one that catches her attention as she gasps a little. Whoa, we don't carry this one in our store. She picks up a small bottle with a simple design on the front. This one smells like oolong tea. It may not sound like it's up your alley, but the main scent is a citrus and bergamot feel, along with a subtle tea scent that's so mellow that it blends in perfectly with the other scents in this perfume. It also lasts a long time with just a small spritz, so it's pretty worth it. Highly recommend it. Puts the bottle back down and starts admiring the other bottles next to it. I actually quite liked the one you recommended me the first time. What was it called again? Laboratory? Laboratorio You know, I said I wasn't going to try to pronounce this, and here I am doing it. Need you. Yeah, that. Interesting, I'll keep that in mind. Yuzaha travels to a different island of perfumes, and I watch her from afar as her intense interest in all of them. Her perfume otaku side brings out a certain charm they don't see often, the only time being the one time Ringo-chan dragged me to her shop. Her immense knowledge about perfumes and accurate recommendations show that she has more than just looks. Like her professional side that I saw, it made her seem much sexier than she already is. You just can't help but fall for her. Oh no. Minor thoughts get interrupted quickly by Yuzaha sending another perfume sample my way. Although this one has a citrus scent, it has more of a top note of tea such as black tea and chamomile. It could be something different for you, but still familiar. Leave my little world and see Yuzaha holding out a little sample of the perfume, smiling brightly. Smell the perfume offered and take mental notes on where it ranks compared to all the ones I've been smelling the past 10 minutes. Not that it matters since the price points for all of them are way past my budget. You think you'll be going home with one today? Maybe not today. He sets the sample down and chuckles. It's okay, I get that they're expensive. Just make sure to come find me when you do decide to spend your money on a new perfume. Might be able to get you a discount at my store. She winks subtly and walks past me towards the exit. Alright, let's go. I had my fair share of perfumes for the day, and I'm sure you're tired of all the strong scents. Her own perfume leaves a trail of scent amidst the store's aroma as she passes me, and I follow her path outside into the shining sunlight. Yuzawa does a big stretch and looks at me, waiting for me to carry on with directions at the detour just now. Well, what came over me suddenly inside the shop? It's as if I was under a spell and I was being controlled by Cupid. I feel like every time I look at Yuzawa's carefree self, my mind is all over the place. Hello? Knock knock. Earth to Umiko. Her hands wave in my face as if the remaining magic of the perfume shop wore off. My muddy mind clears up and I feel more like myself again. I blink awake from my trance and start continuing our trek to Baizo. Are you okay? Haha, did all the scents get to you? I didn't make you smell a lot. Yeah, it must have been all the perfumes I smelled making me think awry. I'm fine. Let's go. I shelve the weird thoughts and try to continue the rest of the journey as normal as I can. Yeah, surely that'll work. The store welcomes us with a horde of cheap household items laid out neatly in their respective sections. Yep, that's Daiso. I've been in a Daiso a few times. Very rarely though. Yuzawa looks around the store and soaks up the immense amount of products offered at the store. I haven't been to Baiso in a hot minute. Eh? Really? Baiso's my favorite place. There's so much cute and cheap stuff. It literally has everything. Don't you need to buy household items? Not really. My place is pretty bare. And why go out when there's online shopping? Touché. I open my phone to check for my to-buy checklist. Okay, first I have to go find some small containers, then I'm going to need some new pens, and then some new disposable masks, and man, be under arrest for being too cute. She slips my wrist through a toy handcuff and points a plastic gun at me while sporting a police cap that's a little too small for her. Look at her bewildered, but can't help but let out a laugh seeing her little getup. What are you doing, you idiot? Her face was straight and serious, but it soon burst out of the facade and into a small giggle. I told you, arresting you for being a little too cute. Shut up. Shake my shackles off me and started to make my way to the stationery section to start my shopping quest. Hey, you're opposing an officer right now. Come back right this instant. Yuzawa returns the props and continues tagging along with me on my errand journey. We spent the next 30 minutes checking things off my checklist, with Yuzawa occasionally sidetracking me. I tried to shop as fast as possible, but ended up taking longer than expected due to all the distracting products around every corner. When we finally make our way to the checkout area after about 40 minutes, Yuzawa drags my attention off track once again. Oh wow, how cute, matching mugs. I take a look at the matching mugs and notice the cute little dog mugs sitting next to each other. One is white apart from a spotted eye, while the other is brown with frowned eyebrows, but they both have their tongues sticking out. I didn't take you for someone who likes matching things. More like I used to know someone that did. Yuzawa looks longingly at the mugs in her hand, seemingly reminiscing about something. Wonder what she's thinking about. Do you want the mugs? You've been staring at it for a while now. She replies with a bittersweet smile and returns the mugs back to their spots. Who am I gonna match with? You? Pick the two mugs up and examine them for any cracks or defects. One of them can be your mug if you ever visit my place. Need some new guest mugs anyways. Her face brightens up and her signature mischievous smile replaces the earlier bittersweet smile. What does that mean? Means I have a mug to use if you ever come visit, that's all. You won't be the only one using it, just saying. So that means I have a high chance of visiting your place soon. Place the mugs gently into my basket, careful not to damage them. If you're lucky enough. Or you might never get to use it, who knows? I proceed to the cashier to pay for my goods while hearing her cheerful footsteps behind me. The temperature slowly climbs as the day progresses, and the autumn sun graciously shares its last warmth before the cold will start setting in. Its presence overhead signals it's noon, and my stomach subsequently grumbles at the thought of lunchtime. It's been 2 hours already. Scan the area for any tasty-looking nearby restaurants to pitch to Yuzawa, but she beats me to it. You ever been to this hot pot place? I haven't been in a while. Oh, I've heard of it. Someone popular I follow on Twitter posted a picture about it. Want to try it? It's kind of pricey, though. Yeah, I'm down. Time to see what it's all about. Yay. My treat. No, you already keep buying me meals. You need to stop, and you told me to stop you from offering to pay. But my love language is gift-giving. I don't care. Boo. She looks down at her phone for the directions to this popular hot pot restaurant. Anyways, it should be right around here somewhere. Let's just start walking. I'll Google the exact destination. Our feet get back to work and we walk in the warm autumn air, which to be honest is getting a little hot for my turtleneck. I swear the temperature was supposed to be chilly today. I can never trust weather apps anymore. Same thing here. Every time I look at the weather, it just says it's going to be like windy or whatever, and then it ends up snowing. I'm like, great. Say, you mentioned a pop-up store you wanted to go to. You want to go after lunch? Thought of my original plan with Ringo-chan resurfaces. I nearly forgot why I was out here in the first place. Pop-up store was of a series that we both like, but it doesn't really matter to me if I go or not. It was more like Ringo-chan wanted company and coaxed me to go with her, and I somehow can't ever say no to her. Don't worry about it. I feel pretty indifferent whether I go or not. You sure? Yeah, unless you want to go. Do you know Opanchu? No, I don't think I've ever heard of it. What's it about? It's kind of stupid, not gonna lie. It's kind of a meme, I guess. It's about a rabbit who wears diapers and is always on the verge of tears. She's very clumsy and gets picked on, I guess, but it's comedic? I'm not really sure what. Well, that was a very sudden tone change. And apparently Yuri's life, somebody graffitied that. I'm sure that's a normal thing to find in Japan. In an instant, my vision gets blurred and I get dragged into a nearby tight alleyway, and the next thing I know, I'm forced between Yuzaha and a gritty wall. I'm assuming that the other girl she's trying to avoid popped up. All I can see is Yuzaha's face just mere inches away from me. She has me cornered with my left arm against the wall as if she's stopping any attempts at escaping. I don't know, do you guys find this attractive? I've actually heard a lot of mixed things about like kind of this trope of trapping someone with your arm like that. I don't know. Do you think it's attractive? I personally think it's fine. I don't think every story needs to have it, but I think it can be kind of sexy. My heartbeat slowly begins rising up and I take a big gulp at the sudden turn of events. What are you Shh. Yuzaha keeps her head down as if she's looking at me, and she was for a moment, but now her eyes wander to the ground and towards the slit opening to the big street. Many people walk by and I don't know what she's looking out for, but I hold my breath as I wait for my heart hammering in my chest. It's way too loud, I hope she doesn't hear it. I'm completely confused as to what's happening, but I keep quiet and still as told, but my racing heart does otherwise. I gulp out of nervousness at the distance between us, or rather lack of distance between us. Maybe it's better that she's not staring straight at me, or else I might just panic and combust. Since her attention is diverted from me, I try to take the opportunity to check her out again, but when my eyes meet her face, they don't even last a second before trailing downwards instead. Only for my heart to go into overdrive as I'm met with her chest, enticing me with her shirt's boob window. I try to pry my gaze away from them, but the enticing boob window is too magnetic. Her cleavage is in full view. I don't think I've noticed it before, but it seems she has a beauty mark on the left side of her chest, conveniently showcased through the boob window. I shouldn't be feeling this way, but I can't help it when a very attractive person is right smack in front of me like this. I've suddenly forgotten how to breathe, or she's running me breathless. After a few moments that seemed like eternity, I can sense her body loosen up and her eyes return their attention to me. Sorry, we almost ran into the girl I was avoiding and I had to hide quickly somehow. I really didn't think we'd run into her. Our faces are still dangerously close, and my sentence comes out a few seconds later than I anticipated due to the lag from snapping out of my trance. Why is that not a surprise? The sudden pink cloud of attraction promptly dissipates and I return to my proper self. Ahem. Oh, sorry. Yuzaha backs up quickly, forgetting she has me sandwiched between her and the wall. Anyways, change of plans. Let's go to Odaiba. We'll probably have a lesser chance to run into her that way, and I know a good restaurant there. Grabs my hand and pulls me out of the dark, dingy alleyway without waiting for my answer. Looks like I have no choice but to follow her. After a long and stiff 1-hour train ride, we reach the city by the water. The scenery at the new destination is much different from the view from before. The beautiful blue of the surrounding body of water shimmers in the sunlight and gives an illusion that we're in a different country altogether. Crowds of tourists roam with handfuls of shopping bags, making their way to the next tourist trap. I don't come here often because it's too far out. I don't really have a reason to, but coming here again reminds me of just how stunning this place is. I should definitely come and explore some more if I ever have the time. It's a big tourist attraction, but it doesn't hurt to be a tourist man's city from time to time, right? The cafe that Yuzaha recommended is just a few minutes walk from the station, and we get there in no time. I find myself walking a bit faster than usual, instinctively keeping pace with her as if it's become a natural habit. Right as we enter, we're greeted by a server and quickly get seated in the quaint little cafe. The cafe is packed with many young adults, all chatting and munching away. apparently arrived just in time because a line starts to form outside the cafe before we even ordered. The server comes over and hands over the menu while explaining the lunch special. The menu is short and simple, but everything on it sounds delicious despite not having any photos to accompany the scrumptious descriptions. What catches my eye even more, though, is the list of specialty cocktails that this cafe offers. Oh, we're back to alcohol, huh? Oh, wow, they have some sort of blackberry yuzu cocktail I kind of want to try. It sounds refreshing. Drinking already? There's nothing wrong with some day drinking. Besides, they have some interesting ones out here. You're right. Yuza copies me and peruses the drink menu with interest. After we make our decisions, the server promptly arrives and takes our orders, and we sit idly while waiting for our meals. So when did you become an alcoholic? I don't quite recall, but I just remember drinking with coworkers often around after work. I guess it just stuck around. I jokingly say I'm an alcoholic, but I don't think it's to that level yet. Though I guess I do resort to drinking whenever I'm sad or stressed, or even just for no reason. It's kind of healing, don't you think? You know how I feel, right? I know exactly how you feel. Exactly. I don't know, I feel like I'm that way except with coffee. I just feel like coffee is a much more convenient thing, especially to have during the day. Then I realized I was a heavyweight when I would drink with my friends, and they always got drunk when I never could get to that point no matter how much I drank. That's kind of me with alcohol. I never have gotten drunk yet. I mean, I've never really probably drank enough to even try, but I want to experience being drunk too. Looks at me judgmentally with a raised eyebrow. I don't think that's something you want to try. Looks so fun though. Definitely not when you're vomiting and being a nuisance to everyone by yelling at random people and stuffing around like a baby learning how to walk. Memory of the hard work I endured to help my friends get home while in inebriated surfaces, and I think that about my answers some more. That was exactly what I want to try experiencing once. If you're that drunk, you probably won't even remember doing all that anyways. True. I don't know, just something I'd like to experience since I haven't. You're weird. And not. It's just a thought. Ah, okay, whatever you say. I get interrupted by the server arriving with our food, and old thoughts of scolding Yuza disappear as my brain rewires to think about my stomach instead. The smell emanating from the food easily makes me salivate, impatient to get a bite. As soon as the dishes were set down, I began digging in, not bothering to wait for Yuzaha. Itadakimasu. Ah, the blissful feeling of taking that first bite. The spaghetti coated in creamy sauce pairs so well, and each bite is like a symphony playing in my mouth. Take a sip of the anticipated blackberry yuzu cocktail, and the refreshing taste completes the meal perfectly. The strong taste of the yuzu and blackberry syrup overpowers the alcohol, but I'm not complaining. That's when you start getting into trouble, when you don't even taste the alcohol, so you keep drinking, and guess what? It catches up. How's the food? I was so occupied with being in heaven that I forgot about Yuza sitting right across from me. Amazing. I wish I had known about this place earlier. I need to come back another day. Then feel free to invite me if you ever do. This is one of my favorite places to eat at. The alcohol they serve here is definitely a plus. You got that right. She takes a sip from her own drink that's orange and reddish, garnished with an orange slice. Yuza must have noticed I was staring as she slides her drink over to me. Want to try? I cheekily get a hold of her cup and bring the blood orange colored drink to my lips. Yeah, if you insist. Her drink hits differently, as its taste is more tart and sweet compared to mine, with a mix of pineapple and perhaps some sort of sweet syrup. Similar to mine, the alcoholic aftertaste doesn't linger much, and it's just as delicious. Oh, I don't drink it all. Don't worry, I'm not that greedy. Your big sips say otherwise. They were tiny sips. Slide the drink back to its respective owner. Some alcohol in my system, I resume our topic before we got interrupted. What about you? When did you find out you could handle alcohol better than others? When I tried to drink to forget. I almost choked on my food after hearing her unexpectedly straightforward answer. It was a much more pitiful answer than I predicted. Now I wish I didn't ask at all. Yuzaha chuckles instead of wearing a sad expression, contrasting her sad answer. Kinda stupid because it didn't work at all, of course. This was my first time drinking so much, and I only ended up getting slightly drunk after who knows how many drinks. Wasn't enough to get me to forget. Sorry to hear that. Don't be. It's all in the past. Don't worry about it. Hard not to feel sorry for whatever Yuzawa went through, especially knowing that a past relationship was what caused her serial dating tendencies. I'm so curious though, just what happened? Just how bad was it for her to turn out like this? I pondered the possibilities, but Yuzawa doesn't allow me to continue pitying her when she steals a piece of chicken from my plate. Delicious. What the? Hey! That's what you get for being in your own world for too long. Spend the next hour or so finishing our meal talking about random stuff, then leave quick to make room for the queue of people outside the cafe. Yuza tries to pay for the bill again, but I fight tooth and nail to split the bill. No way am I being indebted to her again. I pat my content stomach filled with the delicious meal we just ate and yawn, the food coma already kicking in. That'd be one of the best meals I've had in a while. Definitely coming back here. Thanks for showing it to me. No problem. It's one of my favorite cafes, and it's so unknown too. But I don't mind it being unknown. The quality always goes downhill once a place gets popular. Touché. Start walking aimlessly to burn off the calories you just ate around when the huge Ferris wheel attraction in the near distance catches my eye with its colorful carts. It's kind of hard not to notice with its enormous size. People inside the Ferris wheel carts look like tiny ants from down here, as we probably look the same to them from up there. Gee, when was the last time I rode a Ferris wheel? Want to get on it? Heard it's closing down sometime next month. But it's such an iconic landmark. Yeah, something about redevelopment or something. Placing it for a sports stadium. Even though I don't particularly have any special memories with this Ferris wheel, just knowing this can be gone forever makes me a little sad. Feel a little bit of history is being taken away. So, want to get on. What, scared of heights? No. Then let's go. After hearing the news, it does make me want to ride it one last time, but something about the shakiness of Ferris wheels feels unsettling. But for some reason, I don't want to show that weakness to Yuzaha. Maybe it's an ego thing. He tugs at my sleeves and drags my reluctant self back towards the giant circle of death. Right as we get on, the cart starts to shake a little, my hands tense into fists against the seat from nervousness. The cart slowly moves up and soon begins to steady, allowing me to relax a little. To distract myself from an irrational fear of mine, I begin to look out the window and take in the scenery, already breathtaking, even though we're still near ground level. As it slowly edges higher, the amazing view of the concrete jungle below becomes clearer, and the fear slowly erases from my mind. The many cars driving on the big bridge look like little bugs crawling on a log. The sunny weather gives the view a great touch as it adds to a happier atmosphere, making a great day to ride the Ferris wheel. Just as I'm about to forget I'm even on when the rocking starts up again and I see Yuzaha moving haphazardly, purposely shaking the cart. Yuzaha! Ha ha ha! She laughs maniacally and stops the rocking, but the residual rocking doesn't stop for another 10 seconds. I'm gonna kill you. Dying by the hands of a girl. I wouldn't mind. Then you should have gotten slapped by that girl earlier. I don't mind getting slapped, but like I said earlier, she might end up slapping you instead because her overactive brain jumps to conclusions. I was protecting you. Right. I look out to the vast metropolis again to ignore the perpetrator. We're now even higher, yet we're still nowhere near the top. The calming scenery helps with the anxiety, and as soon as my body loosens up, the cart shakes once more, throwing me back into the pit of anxiety. This time it's caused by Yuza darting towards my side of the cart, whatever it is on my side of the window. It's the giant Gundam! My fear instincts kick in and I shut my eyes while I grab a hold of Yuzaha's arm, which is now the nearest thing possible to steady myself. Yuzaha! Ah, my bad. She sits down obediently as I continue latching onto her. The atmosphere goes quiet, which helps me regain my composure. Yuzaha speaks up again in a hushed voice so as to not scare me. You really didn't have to get on if you're this scared. I'm not scared. It's just the rocking. I'm fine if you stay still, please. Her hands caress my forearm to comfort me, and she chuckles. I don't know. I personally like the ones that kind of shake like that. It's kind of fun, but to each to their own. Okay, I'll stay still. I open my eyes once the rocking stops again, and I become conscious of Yuza's perfume with her being so close. It takes me a few minutes to notice I'm hugging her arm tightly and joined to her at the hip. I exhale the breath I was unknowingly holding, and relax a little now that the source of the shaking is finally detained. My eyes look up and meet Yuzaha's. She doesn't say anything, just giggles with her velvety voice. What? Nothing. You seem like a scared puppy when you're usually serious and stern. So I can't have different sides of me. It's just that I'm not used to seeing this side. That's all. It's new. I'm glad it's entertaining you somehow. Thank you. It's been a good 5 minutes now and I'm still holding on to Yuzaha even though I don't need to anymore. Well, I guess I can keep her steady in case she rocks the cart again. But it's still rather comforting and I feel like it'd be more awkward if we just sat next to each other without saying anything. I spend most of the time looking out the window next to me to take in the panoramic view as she does the same. Surprised she hasn't told me to let go yet, but knowing her, she probably enjoys having a girl in her arm. Besides, it makes me feel safe. It's been a while since I've been able to do this anyways. It's fine if I bask in this glory for a little bit, right? When we nearly reached the apex of the Ferris wheel, my eyes widen at the sight below us. It's spectacular. As I admire it, expecting the rest of the ride to be silent, Yuza proves me wrong. So why are you single? Got an eye on anyone? No one chasing you or anything? Answer without taking my eyes off the beautiful view outside. It just didn't work out with my ex. They lost interest in me and broke up. That's all there is to it. Oh, sorry about that. I understand how that feels, though. It's whatever. Then are you looking right now? I'm on dating apps, but no one really sticks around long enough to warrant something. I even got stood up on the night I met you. Oh, that's rude of them. Yeah, well, oh well, it is what it is. But you're so cute and honestly really gorgeous. They're missing out. Not everything is about looks. So what you're saying is, you're boring. I raise a threatening fist and she flinches and shuts her eyes with a cheeky smile. She opens one eye after not receiving the expected hit, and I lower my hand as I decide not to choose violence. Let out a somber sigh and slump dejectedly. Maybe I am. A light flick gets inflicted on my temple and I furrow my eyebrow in pain. Ow! I was so nice as to not choose violence, yet here she is repaying me with an attack. Don't say that. You're plenty interesting. Like I've said, you'll find somebody, just gotta keep looking. All I do is laugh a little in response. Yeah, maybe one day. She's always supportive sometimes. It's a little jarring compared to her own life choices in life. I've never forgotten how she reassured me that I'd find someone back in the night our drinking buddy pact was made. Seems she's also has different sides to her as well. Wonder what other sides she has that I haven't seen yet. We spent the rest of the time together in the Ferris wheel in silence, just quietly taking in the scenery. At first I was afraid the silence would be awkward, but it's surprisingly calming and enjoyable. Makes me want to stay here for longer in this comforting silence. But the Ferris wheel eventually returns to ground level and we untangle from each other to get ready for departure. The time together in the Ferris wheel was apparently only about 15 minutes, but it felt like eons with just the two of us in there. If I can stay for a moment longer, I would. But all good things must come to an end. We step out of the slow-moving cart and head back to civilization. I take a big stretch and shake out any remaining ounce of anxiety from the ride and look to Yuza for our next destination. Let's go day drinking. I know a bar close by that. Her phone rings and she nonchalantly presses the red button on the screen and ignores the call. This bar is an interesting list of cocktails. I think you'd like it. To the shopping mall so we can probably... She looks at her phone angrily and back at me. But I'll just take this call real quick if you don't mind. Gesture for her to take the call and I lean against the railings as I wait. Life got fixed faster than expected, so I'm currently out running some errands. We'll go out some other day, okay? You're at my house right now. I look over at Yuza and see her eyes darting left and right, biting her lip in annoyance. It's fine, you don't have to wait. I don't know how long it'll take. Okay. See you soon. Yuza hangs up and looks at me with apologetic eyes like she's trying to figure out something to say. From what I heard while eavesdropping, it's safe to assume that she's leaving me. It's okay, you can go tend to your needy girlfriend. Not girlfriend. Are you sure, though? Doesn't sound like you have a choice. Puts her phone back in her pocket and walks up to me with a serious face, catching me off guard. If you just say the word, I'll stay. Ooh, somebody is developing feelings. Her sudden shift in tone makes it hard to maintain eye contact, and my eyes look to the side for solace. It's tempting. Too tempting. Too tempting to keep Yuza to myself for the rest of the day. But I shouldn't. Even I myself don't know why I shouldn't. The internal battle going on inside of me is making me all confused. This offset internal conflict, my selfless self steps up and ends it. I resume eye contact with Yuza, engulfed in the nervousness, but I eventually give her her answer. It's fine. Honestly. Go. She looks at me for a moment without a word and then slowly nods her head, understanding my command. Alright. Her tall figure backs up and the stiff atmosphere relaxes a bit, although I still feel a little bit of tension left over in the hope I will soon disappear. Come on, I'll walk you to the station. Can't keep that poor girl waiting at your place. Right. The walk to the station is short and silent, only filled with the voices of tourists surrounding us. Why does I feel like I chose the wrong answer? Is it too late to take it back? Is it too late for me to indulge in my shellfish side? You gonna stick around here a little more? Oh, I might. I'm here anyways, right? Okay then, get home safe. Yeah, thanks. She goes through the gates and heads up the escalator to our platform. Suddenly I regret my choice and I turn to look at the escalator she was on just moments ago, but her figure is long gone. I could chase after her. Tell her to stay. But I turn back to head out to the station aside to spend the rest of the day by myself. Happy birthday! Woo! Like clockwork, everyone takes their shots and continues on partying the night away. I, of course, follow suit, downing the spicy liquid, which is probably my 20th shot of the night. I thought it'd be a good idea to have an open bar with 3 drinks. This might be my last drink of the night. I struggle to stand up due to an intense headache and queasy feeling in my stomach. I pride myself in being a heavyweight. I'm never like this, so I wonder why my body is feeling this affected. Perhaps my age is finally getting to me. My head is beginning to spin and I lean against the wall in the back corner somewhere to get away from the crowd of people. Oh, I do not feel good. Definitely not drunk, but I feel incredibly nauseous for some reason or other. I think it's time to take my leave. Quickly flag down the birthday girl and bid my farewells. But the night is still young. I'm sorry, but I really have to go. Okay, we'll go home safe. Birthday girl gives me a hug and I bust out of the club into the crisp night air. Once I step out, the cold temperature blasts my face, which feels kind of refreshing after being in a hot, stuffy room filled with hundreds of people for the past 3 hours. I feel better for a split second, but the queasy feeling in my stomach and intense headache is persistent. I steady myself against the wall as I walk away from the club and call for a taxi. I need to get home ASAP or I might just pass out on the street. Even after all those drinks, I'm only tipsy at most, but the excruciating feeling I have now is a completely different matter. I guess it has been a while since I went this ham on drinks. How can you say no to free alcohol? As soon as the taxi comes, I hop right in and pray to God that the car ride doesn't make me feel any worse than I do right now. Luckily, the ride was smooth and I arrived home in about 25 minutes, and I thank God I live relatively close by. Make my way towards the apartment building as fast as my wobbly legs take me. With each passing minute, I feel like I won't be able to make it to my place in time. My vision is slowly blurring and my pounding in my head is just intolerable. These stairs are just a pain with each step. I think I should call someone in case. Maybe I should call Yuzaha for help. I halt my thoughts in their tracks and for a brief moment I snap awake, wondering why on earth I even considered calling Yuzaha. Would she even answer at 2 a.m.? Yet despite all that, I still grab my phone and search for a contact. Must be the alcohol. I hear the dial tone as I near the corner to my apartment door, but alongside the dial tone I hear a ringtone as well. I think my brain's playing tricks on me until Yuzaha surprisingly picks up and I start hearing double voices too. Yumiko? I round the corner to see the very person I'm calling right in front of me. I rub my blurry eyes to see if I'm hallucinating. Yuzaha, is that you? Yes? Yuzaha is sitting on the floor next to a six-pack with 3 of the cans gone already. Has she just been drinking outside my place the entire night? How long has she been sitting here for? What are you doing here? I guess you could say I'm on the run again. Wait, Umiko, are you okay? I trot over to her very slowly in fear that I might yak at any given moment. I stumble and almost trip as I try to get close to her. She gets up and holds me, and I lean my body against hers. I am not okay. Jeez, you reek of alcohol and smoke. Come on, where are your keys? Let's get you inside. I feel a tug on my shoulder as she rummages through my purse for the keys. The sweat on my forehead begins to drip down my temple as I use all the power within me to control the alcohol that's about to erupt. The second she opens the door, I immediately make a run for the washroom and let it all out. I love the double meaning here. I fall to the toilet and all the alcohol I drank tonight comes out like a bursting dam against an uncontrollable flood of water. Umiko! Yuzaha rushes in and crouches down to my level, holding up my hair, and as I expel the poison, probably very unattractively. Shit, how much did you drink? I'm unfortunately too preoccupied to answer, and I can't remember how much I drank anymore anyways. After a few long minutes, I eventually stopped puking and managed to form some words, albeit in a low and hoarse voice. I'm sorry you had to see me like this. Ugh. The last thing I care about right now. Flushes the toilet and rubs my back to comfort my sick self. My head is still throbbing and my mouth tastes like absolute garbage, but after vomiting it all out, I feel much better and less nauseous than before. My weak body struggles to get up from the toilet even with the borrowed help of Yuzaha, but I managed to get myself to hunch over the sink. Sorry, you can go sit down and I'll freshen up. Are you sure you're okay? I waved my hand to dismiss her. Yeah, I'm fine now. She stands still for a few moments looking at me skeptically, but slowly backs up and heads out of the washroom. I'll be waiting outside. Closes the door and leaves me alone when I look at the mess that is me in the mirror. My hair is disheveled, skin looking pale, just a hot mess in general. Replay of the past 10 minutes flashed through my mind now. My now somewhat clearer mind, and I bite my lip in anguish. Remember that Yuzaha had to witness all that. That was so embarrassing. I contemplated on staying in here the entire night so I don't have to face Yuzaha, but she might get worried. So instead, I proceed to rinse and brush my teeth to get rid of the horrid taste and try to salvage my image a little. Pounding in my head is still prevalent, but I've at least regained enough strength to ignore most of it. I check myself in the mirror one last time before heading out to properly greet Yuzaha. When I step through the door, I spot her on the floor at the side of my bed, browsing on her phone. Her head perks up and she puts away her phone once she notices me trudging my way towards her. I thought I could walk straighter, but my legs tell me otherwise, so I end up joining her on the floor where her thighs are looking very comfortable. Let me just... How are you feeling? My autopiloting, foggy mind goes straight to her legs and uses her thighs as a pillow. Oh, and there's the dog in her bed. I can feel her stiffen from my sudden weight, but she relaxes and brushes the hair out of my face, stroking my head like a pet. Her strokes are comforting, and I feel like I can fall asleep to her caresses along with her soft thigh pillow. The temporary pillow is warm and squishy, but once again her trademark perfume scent surrounds me and encompasses me in the intoxication. How are you feeling? Her voice is soft and gentle, as if she'd fear that I'd crumble if she spoke any louder. I'm better, but could be better. Just how much did you drink, you alcoholic? Look at the pot calling the kettle black. I don't remember. I had a birthday party at a club and there was an open bar. Oh boy, I can already guess the rest. Hey, free drinks, am I right? And you just can't help but fall into the drinking atmosphere with everyone partying so hard. You idiot. I chuckle a bit at her remark. Usually I'm the one calling her an idiot, so hearing it come out of her mouth feels a little weird yet strangely refreshing. Neither of us say anything for the next couple of minutes, with the silence almost lulling me to sleep. But I break it as I realize again that I'm lying on Yuzaha and not my pillow. What about you? What are you doing here drinking outside of my place like a bum? Also, let me know if you need water or a drink. I guess you can finally use those matching dog cups from Baiso. You seem like the one more in need of water at the moment. Where are your cups? You stay put, let me get some for you. I'm reluctant on having Yuzaha move me from her comfortable lap pillow, but a drink of water does sound nice right now. Cups are in the cupboard next to the stove in the kitchen. I have a jug of water in the fridge, you can use that. Then I'll be right back. Yuzaha gently lifts my head and rests it on the rug as she goes and retrieves the water. With her gone, I almost drift to sleep, but she returns quickly with the 2 matching dog mugs, handing one to me. Here. I take the cup from her and slowly sip on the refreshing cold water. She reseats herself in her initial position, and after placing the cup on the coffee table, I once again rest my head on her comfortable lap. Yuzaha doesn't flinch this time and goes back to stroking my hair. Back to your question, though. I'm just on the run again, as usual. I came to your place because it's the only place I can think of where people wouldn't think to find me. I also thought you'd like to drink with me, but it's clear that you already had your fill of alcohol. Turned my head around to face her, her mocha eyes meeting my own honey-colored ones. I mean, I threw up all the alcohol I had earlier. I can go for round 2. Maybe you are an alcoholic. Yuzaha looks down at me with a bewildered expression before letting out a laugh. You... don't do that. She flicks my forehead and protests my irresponsible life decisions, and I wince with a whimper. I give her a look with furrowed brows and a frown, disapproving of her inflicting pain on a sick patient. I rub the wounded area on my forehead to soothe the sting and go back to the topic at hand. Why do I feel like you're always on the run? Because they're clingy and stubborn. Especially this one. She's on another level. I didn't think she'd turn out like this, to be honest. I was like a final boss or something. Yeah, you could see it that way. Can't you just ghost her and cut her out? I'm not cold-hearted like that. I'd like to at least let them down gently. Huh, I didn't expect you to be such a softie. I did tell you I was a softie, didn't I? And you didn't believe me, remember? Nope. You drunkard. I'm not drunk. I headbutt her stomach, which I immediately regret because it was flat and hard, which agitated my stomach some more. Ow. You're hilarious when you're drunk. I'm literally not drunk, I'm just unwell. Whatever you say. Anyways, good luck on shaking the girl off. Thanks, I'll need it. I still wonder how you spent the past 4 years like this. Each their own, but I can't wrap my head around it. Why? Why couldn't you just be normal? If you were normal, I could have naturally fallen in love with you and had a normal relationship with you. Yuza scoffs a little with a small smirk and looks at me softly with gentle eyes. Is that what you wanted? Gaze up at her, captivated by the lure of her beautiful brown eyes, losing myself with each passing moment as our eyes lock. I hesitate to answer, but my frazzled conscience removes all the filters I typically have. Yeah. Another wave of silence washes upon us, and I wonder if I made things weird, but then Yuza starts her story. I was normal once. More naive. More in love. Guess I just got hurt too bad. The tone of her voice slowly changes into a more solemn one that sounds weary and sorrowful. Her hands begin stroking my head again, sending little shivers down my spine with each touch. I thought she was the one. I saw a future with her, even though it might have been a hard one. I was ready to face it all for her because I loved her so much. Yuza is looking at the wall opposite of her, but I can still see her slightly pained expression as she talks about her ex. Poor thing. But that was the cost. You end up getting hurt. I know it's part of the process, but it lasts forever even if you move on from it. When you're so young and naive, it really screws with you, how you view things. Yuza's voice is but a quiet whisper as she recalls the hurt she experienced. The emptiness in her voice pains me as I try to imagine what she went through. I thought she loved me too, and I'm sure she did at one point. I caught her in bed with a man one morning at her house. So painful, it was traumatizing. Felt like I wasn't enough. I just wasn't good enough that she had to find someone else, anyone else. She said she was sorry, but didn't even try to justify herself. She didn't try to plead for my forgiveness. I don't think I could have forgiven her even if she did. I mean, how long had it been since she was seeing someone? How long had it been since I wasn't enough? What did I do? What did I not do enough? I couldn't handle it, and that's why I'm the way I am now. Because this way I don't get hurt. Casual things only, no need to be attached. Always something new, something different. But in the end, they're only temporary. Precisely. You ever thought that maybe you could spend your whole life with one of them? Yes, that maybe I'd fall in love with one of them and end my days of playing around. But I don't know what I'd do. She looks down at me with a serious and lost expression and temporarily stops stroking my hair. I'm afraid. I don't know if I'm ready to get hurt again. Yuza usually looks like she can do anything, can pull off anything, knows everything. But the her I'm seeing right now looks like a lost child meandering through the darkness, directionless. It's been about 6 years now, so I'm sure I can handle it better if I do end up getting hurt again, but still, I prefer not to get hurt at all because it feels like shit. Her empty-looking eyes stare at me soullessly, clearly still replaying the pain in her head. I go to reach for her arm and stroke it to comfort her. I'm sorry to hear what you've been through. It's okay. I'm okay now. Just cautious. She takes a deep breath and breaks eye contact, shaking her head slightly to get herself out of the spiral. Her fingers resume running through my hair tenderly. The patting soon sends me off into a daze, tempting to lull me into slumber and causing my words to slur and mumble. I hope one day you'll find someone that'll love you wholeheartedly, someone that you can spend the rest of your days with. Or I guess you can just continue going around. That works too. I don't know. Or who knows? Maybe you might decide to stay single forever, and that's fine too. You're valid. But if you do find that someone, be sure to invite me to your wedding. I can be your flower girl. And then... My eyes officially give out, my brain shuts down after the long night, but before I pass on to a deep slumber, I feel a peck on my forehead and hear Yuza faintly. Good night. The morning light blinds me through the windows and disturbs me from my much-needed slumber. The residual headache still lingers, but it's nowhere near as painful as yesterday. As I move to get up, my body starts to ache in places I never thought it could ache. I prop myself up with my arms and feel the cold hardwood floor, reminding me I was lying down on Yuza's leg last night. But instead of her thigh, I see my pillow, in replacement, a blanket over me. Did she leave? I get up from the floor and start to look around my small apartment, but no traces of Yuza are to be found. Just me, myself, and the faint smell of her perfume lingering on my clothes. What was I expecting anyway? Well, I should probably at least thank her for the help last night, even though it's through a text. Pick up my phone to text her. Thank you for yesterday. Start to find a heart sticker to send alongside the thanks, but maybe it's a bit too much. Delete the heart sticker and replace it with a thumbs up instead. And send. Stare at the phone to see if the message gets read, but nothing yet. To be fair, it's only been a minute or so. The message suddenly gets read and I perk up a little bit, hoping to see a message, but nothing. I give it a minute or two more, still nothing. Did she leave me on red? Oh, whatever, she'll reply when she'll reply. Pick up my pillow and my blanket from the floor and close the curtains that were left open last night. I then return my pillow blanket and myself back to the bed and bury myself under the covers. It's Sunday. I can sleep somewhere. Asahina-kun, what are you doing? You just gave them the wrong change. Sorry, dear customer, here's your correct change. Asahina-kun, I'm making you switch with someone else. Go to the back room and collect your cell before you make any more mistakes. This is the 5th mistake you made today. I'm very disappointed in you. Stand there meekly and bow 90 degrees to apologize for my fumbles. Manager stomps away and I walk to the staff room with a hanging head. It's been about 5 days since I got left unread. Probably busy, but she usually doesn't take more than an hour to reply to me, so 5 days is a little alarming. Nothing happened to her. Did I do or say something wrong? I tried to check on her at our workplace, but she hasn't been at work the past few days either. Worried for her. Oi, Ume-chan. Ringo-chan pops up next to me before I head to the room. What's going on? You're so out of it. I wave her off and reassure her. It's nothing, don't worry about it. If I wasn't on the clock right now, I'd slap you sillies just so you can snap out of it. Your best bet, I'll be finding you after work to spill the beans, you. Don't think you can get out of it. She gives me dagger eyes and walks away while still facing me menacingly. Slowly head to the back room as I ignore her threats to try to figure out a way to stop thinking about Yuzuha. Once my shift ends, I quickly leave before Ringo-chan can catch me for interrogation. If he automatically taken me to the perfume shop without a second thought, but Yuzuha still isn't there, as evident with the lack of customers that are usually here to ogle at her. My heart sinks and I worry some more. Just what are you doing, Yuzuha? Sigh and give up. This probably isn't good for my heart. Maybe I'll make a detour to the convenience store by my place and buy some drinks. It might be a bad idea because alcohol would just remind me of her. Why am I letting Yuzuha ruin alcohol for me? I'm gonna buy some drinks. My body shivers in response to being outside for too long, so making me feel extra hungry as it nears dinner time. Dig around in my bag for some candy and use it to appease my thunderous stomach. To quickly make my way home after buying my beer, maybe some food too. As the convenience store nears my line of sight, I spot a tall, familiar figure that I haven't seen in a while standing in front of the destination, her back to me. That's Yuzuha, right? There's no doubt it's her, with her unique hair color and lack of jacket despite the chilly weather. My heart skips a beat without my permission, and I try to calm it down. Act normal, Umiko. I take a deep breath and run up to the woman. Yuzuha. Umiko? She sports a dumbstruck face, not expecting me at all. What are you doing here? This is my turf, hello? Huh, I guess it is. That's beside the point. Where have you been, Yuzuha? I've been worried sick. You have? Of course, who wouldn't when someone usually replies within hours hasn't responded in a week? Are you okay? Yuzu. Ooh, another woman. My bombardment of questions gets cut short when a girl dressed in expensive clothing prances up to us and links arms with Yuzuha. Ah, so Yuzuha's just been too busy with a girl this entire time. Is that it? A girl that's stuck to Yuzuha like glue is very cute and girly, carrying an expensive designer bag to match her expensive outfit. Probably someone well off. Our eyes meet and she looks me up and down with a grim face different from the one she greeted Yuzuha with. Yuzu, who is this? Yuzuha looks away nervously and starts to answer, but I beat her to it. Yuzuha's friend. Friend, huh? Are you sure you're not one of her other girls? Well, you know what? What if I am? Okay. I don't know where the sudden courage to blurt that out came from, but seeing her haughty attitude just irks me. It's like she intentionally wants to pick a fight with me. If she wants a fight, I'll give her a fight. I had her back off because Yuzu already has me and only needs me. I give her anything and everything she wants. What could you give her? Momoko, just stop, please. Yuzu tries to hold the barking chihuahua back. But Yuzu, even if you do have other girls, this is currently my time with you, and I'm not willing to... Momoko. Yuzu unlinks her arms and steps back, startling the other girl. I can't do this anymore. We have to stop. I'm letting you go. The blood in the girl's face almost drains with the bad news. What? I tried to let you go gently, but you just won't get the hint. We're over. We've been over. I only played along because I felt bad for you, and I can't pretend that I'm okay with playing along anymore. It was just supposed to be a fling, you know that? If it hasn't been clear enough that you couldn't get the hint, then this is me clearly breaking it off with you. I tried to be nice. But... I stand there awkwardly between the so-called lover's quarrel, and I want to leave oh so badly, but I don't know how to make my exit. Rich girl glares at me and points at me with her studded nails. It's because of her. My entire body freezes, feeling blisteringly uncomfortable. I somehow got dragged into the conversation. Yuzuha doesn't reply for a moment, but she eventually chuckles a tired and evil chuckle and smirks. You know what? Yeah, it is because of her. Probably wraps her arms around my shoulder and pulls me close. Oh god, is this her using me as a meat shield? I'm done playing around. I want this one. The girl stares at Yuza in disbelief, and I join her. Her eyes are wide and soon filled with glistening tears, trying to wrap her head around the news. Perhaps it was never news at all, and the reality that Yuza never saw her in a permanent romantic light is finally hitting her hard. Why? Why couldn't I have been the one? I've done so much for you. I put in so much effort. I shrug Yuza's arm off me and try to talk some sense in the heartbroken maiden. Because she doesn't believe in the one. She's actually messed up and you should leave while you can. She doesn't love you, she's just playing around. She never loved all the girls she's fooled around with. Don't tell me you never knew that. Heck, she probably doesn't even love me. Which is true, as she's probably just using me as her meat shield. She's right. Just then, Yuza unexpectedly steps in front of me and takes over my scolding, taking on her rightful responsibility. You pretending that's all okay is just gonna hurt yourself more. You already hurt yourself by falling for me, even though it was stated explicitly that it'd just be a fling. Momika stands there with furrowed brows and heavy breathing, looking like she's about to strangle Yuza, but Yuza presses on. I was nothing but a player. Let me go. Find someone better. You're a great girl, and I'm grateful for all that you've done for me, but unfortunately, you were never as special to me as I was to you. I'm not the one for you. Please, find someone that will love you the way you love them, because I can't do that for you. I can only imagine just how much pain Momika is feeling as I try to put myself in her shoes. Yuza's words strike a chord within me, and it almost makes me realize that I'm almost no different than Momika. Words that came out of my mouth earlier sound almost ironic as I fall and prey to her charms, despite not even being one of her playthings. Was me scolding Momika just a facade for scolding myself? Seeing Yuzaha's backside suddenly makes it feel like she's further away from me than it seems. Momika looks down and a teardrop hits the floor as she balls her shaking fist in resentment. Momika. Idiot. Idiot, idiot, idiot. She begins hitting Yuza with her purse, and Yuza takes them without flinching, knowing she fully deserves them. Each hit lands with a thud filled with anger, frustration, and sadness. I try to get in between them to coax the girl to stop, but that was a mistake as I also get hit in the face in the process. Though it's more my fault that I was in the line of fire. Ah! Umiko. The girl finally stops and stares quickly in horror, but shows no remorse whatsoever and pushes past us as she runs off in tears. We're at the spot where I got hit, and Yuza grabs my face to check on me. Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you? You took a lot of hits. They were nothing. You, on the other hand, just got hit in the face. Presses the injured area with a stern and concerned face. I think there's a little scratch. Move my head away from her hand and reassure again that I'm not dying just yet. I'm fine, honestly. Pays no attention to my insistence and keeps on grilling me about the minor damage. I'll go get you a band-aid. Turns and stomps to the convenience store, but I lash onto her before she gets any further. Stop, stop, stop. You don't need to give me a band-aid. I have band-aids at home. Yuza stops, and it's like a light bulb lit up above her head. That's right, your place is nearby, right? Let's go on, come on. She takes the lead even though it's my place, and I follow her quietly like a child. I unlock the door and bask in the warmth welcoming me compared to the temperature outside. It's starting to get chillier and chillier nowadays. Just how does Yuza do without a jacket? Check my face in the mirror at the entrance, see a small red mark on my face from where the purse hit me. Yuza, I'm fine. I'm not even bleeding. Relax. Let me see. Anne reaches for my face and re-examines the injury now that we're in a brighter setting. She sighs and lets go, then plops herself on the edge of the bed. You still should have just let her hit me. You didn't have to intervene. I'd be there all night if I did. I also felt that I couldn't have just stood there watching you get hit. I deserved it. You're being too nice to a fault again. Oh, you know me. Her head tilts down as she hangs her head, staring at the rug. Could have just stayed put, and now you're hurt because of me. It's like you said, I'm so fucked up that I ended up hurting all those around me. I'm okay, this is nothing really. Still, it shouldn't have happened. It was my fault for jumping in, blaming me for getting myself hurt, so stop blaming yourself. Why'd you even help me anyways? Your niceness is gonna get you in trouble one day. Ah, she's making me so angry. I stormed towards her in a fit of fury, frustrated with her being down in the dumps. Why am I suddenly so brave today? Because I like you. The room falls quiet except for the distant dripping faucet, creating a slow, metronome-like rhythm, creating the only thing I can concentrate on to calm my nerves. Her head shoots up and stares at me, wide-eyed. My fists ball up from the nervousness, and I can feel the clamminess rise up. I take a big, anxious gulp, waiting for one of us to say something, except I can't muster up anything. It's like there's something stuck in my throat. Yuzaha's eyes look away, appearing to be processing the fresh information of a shocked expression. I can't take the silence anymore. I know that I wasn't supposed to fall in love with you, and I honestly don't know when it started. I know nothing good is gonna come out of me liking you. Heck, you're probably gonna leave me like you do all the other girls once they develop deeper feelings. But it is what it is and I can't help it. I don't want you to leave. I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy exchanging beer pictures every now and then. Her facial expression does a 180 and her classic pompous smirk replaces her shocked face. Yuza's sudden smirk throws me off guard and I wonder what's so funny. Why can't I ever predict her next move? Until I win. Huh? You fell in love with me. You lost the bet. My eyes darted around trying to recover the memory of the bet it made that fateful night. Yuza's smirk doesn't waver, knowing she's fully correct. Somehow seeing that smirk and knowing she's right angers me, even while I'm still nervous and filled with anxiety from my outburst. She just forces my emotions to be all over the place. Yeah, and I hate it. I hate that I fell in love with such a walking red flag like you. And if only... Oh, wow. In a second without warning, Yuza cuts me off mid-sentence, and she pulls me in, closing the gap. My one knee lands on the bed, just steadying myself from the sudden pull, and her hands support me, preventing me from falling. Despite the awkward position, all I can focus on are those soft lips of hers against mine. They're amazing, just like I imagined. It feels almost natural. I can feel the loving emotions behind it, yielding and not forceful at all. It's so warm and delicate. I know she's probably kissed 100 girls, but it feels like these lips were specifically for me. She's just that good at making girls feel special. The fleeting moment ends as fast as it started when Yuza pulls away, but not too far. Her lips are barely a hairline apart as her eyes fixate on mine, wanting more. The abrupt kiss paralyzes me, my brain cells working overtime to try to figure out what in the world has happened, yet simultaneously frozen in place from shock. Just as confused as I am. Tastes like candy. She licks her lips in a seductive manner and her tongue barely brushes against mine. Had I known this is how you tasted, I would have stolen a kiss way earlier. Then again, I myself was trying to hold back. Her flirtatious words, in addition to her visible tongue, throw my puzzled brain cells into overdrive, causing me to do the unthinkable. I push myself onto her and resume our kiss, but this time with more fervor now that all my bottled up emotions are finally spilling out. It's like I'm drunk on her. I climb onto her into a more comfortable position, straddling her as she suits back, giving me room to rest on. Wow. Team Anpim is definitely stepping up the romance. That's for sure. Her arms now steady my waist as I wrap my own around her neck, deepening the kiss even more. I'm like, this is definitely the most romantic scene I could think of in any of the other stories. Eventually pull apart to catch her breath, she takes the opportunity to satiate her curiosity. Just how long were you waiting for this? Since the beginning. The corners of her mouth curve into a sly grin after having her ego inflated. How long should I wait before you throw me away? Say it as a joke with knowing her track record, but she actually answered seriously. Never. I'm keeping you forever. I was wide in surprise hearing her serious tone in the declaration at the end of her womanizing days. I wasn't joking when I said it's because of you earlier. I want you, and only you. I can't believe my ears thinking that they're playing tricks on me. Yuzaha? Settling down? Let alone for me? You know what you're getting into, right? I do. I can't be certain that I'm the one for you. You might not be the one, but I'm willing to get hurt for you. Who knows, maybe you are the one. If this was the first night I met her, I would have cynically dismissed her sweet nothing, especially when I know she doesn't believe in the one. But hearing it now gives me butterflies in my stomach that I can't contain, even if what she's saying are still sugar-coated words. If I end up not being the one, her sparkling eyes don't waver as they look deep into my gold ones. And I don't ever want to find the one. Yuza locks lips with me once again with a light peck that slowly deepens into a passionate kiss I can't help but reciprocate. In one swift motion, she pulls me close and reverses our positions, tossing me onto the bed and trapping me under her. Damn. Tension between us rises more than ever, and her hands start to venture to dangerous territories. However, the sparks flying come to a sizzle. My stomach lets out a huge, neglected grumble from the lack of sustenance. The kiss breaks, and we both look down at my stomach, my face burning due to embarrassment. Stomach, why are you like this at such a crucial time? The mood is ruined. I just slap my head a billion times to hide my face before I combust from the heat rushing to my head. Can I order food first? Yuza looks at me and blinks, then bursts into a boisterous laughter. I slap her arm to get her to stop laughing at me. You can't blame me, I haven't eaten since noon. Haha, okay, go order food. She gets off me and lies down on the bed with her elbow and her hand propping her head. Exactly how she did the first time I saw her in my bed. Make sure to order enough because you need all the energy you can get tonight. My face continues heating up, but I keep my poker face and hit her again for her suggestive comment, even though I know full well what the event of tonight will be. And I still have to work tomorrow. Ooh, I'm guessing is this going to be kind of our after story? A month later. The taxi doors close and we hand the address to my place over to the driver. It just starts to rev once it starts the trip. Take advantage of our hands being out of sight from the driver, start playing around by interlocking them together, secretly flirting in the open. Sure, we hold hands in public, but doing it in secret feels a little more exciting. That restaurant was so good, and not to mention the champagne. Oh my god, it's often I get to drink fancy and good champagne. We should go there once a week. Glad you liked it, but going there once a week will burn a hole through our wallets. I said I'd take you to a fancy dinner, but I didn't mean to extend that offer to a once a week. Okay then, once every 2 weeks. Once a year. 4 times a year. Once every 3 years. I know she's just joking, but I still give her a squint of disapproval. Yuzawa changes the subject to get rid of my dagger eyes. Alright, I have something for you, but I'll give it to you when we get home. Eh? You should have given it to me at the restaurant. Could have been more romantic. Yeah, I was going to, but I decided it might be better to give it to you at home. What is it? Not telling you, it ruined the surprise. I give her a suspicious look, turning the cogs in my head, trying to figure out what the gift could be. You'll see. What a tease, at least give me a hint. No, patience is a virtue, ma'am. I give her a big pout and protest, but it has no effect on her. So for the rest of the ride, I sit in anticipation with my mind filled with all the possibilities of this gift. Just what could it be? Immediately once we step inside, I turn to her and ask for my surprise. We're still at the entrance, ma'am. Grab her hand and haul her to the bed, seeing both of us down. Now can I get the surprise? I have no clue whatsoever as to what the surprise could be. A necklace? A ring? Nothing at all? I anxiously and intently stare at her, waiting for her to show me the gift. Yuzawa laughs and pulls out a small, nicely wrapped box out of her bag. It's a beige box wrapped with a black ribbon, waiting for me to unravel it. Look at her confused. I still have no idea what it could be. She points her chin to the box, signaling me to open it, and I patiently unbox it like a child on their birthday. When I take the lid off, I see a familiar small rectangular glass bottle with a black liquid. On it is a simple label on it with a foreign language on it. I carefully take it out, recalling that it was a small bottle Yuzawa recommended during my first visit to her store with Ringo-chan. Oh, that's romantic. I like that she was still thinking about that. Yes, it is. Eyes widen as round as the moon in shock, remembering the price of it. Wasn't this like 20,000 yen? Shh, don't worry about the price. Yuzawa. She smoothly changes the topic. She timidly takes the expensive bottle in my hand and takes the black lid off. Want to give it a try? I'll spray a little bit behind your ear. She tucks my hair back and sprays some of the expensive scented water on me, and I instantly smell the rosy and citrusy fragrance traveling in the air, drowning both of us in it. It smells exactly as I remember it, as it was the one that caught my attention most. She sets the fragile bottle and its box down on my bedside table as I take in the scent some more. I was never much of a perfume person, but I wouldn't mind wearing this from time to time. It'd be great for going out with Yuzawa. I'm caught off guard when Yuzawa moves in closer, wrapping her arms around my waist and nuzzling her face into my neck without warning. Her lips then land some light pecks trailing down to my collarbone. Yuzawa. Smells nice. Pulls me down to the bed with her face still buried in my neck, accompanied with a too adventurous hand creeping up my shirt and my stomach. I told you how gorgeous you look on that fit tonight. To be honest, I think you look even better with those clothes on the floor. Sudden touch caused me to flinch and shiver before gradually melting all my common sense away. You planned this all along, didn't you? Of course not. I just saw an opportunity and I took it. Liar. This Yuzawa, honestly. To think that I'd actually fall in love with this troublesome player. How this Casanova wormed her way into my heart, I don't know. How I managed to cuff her, that I also don't know. What I do know is that I could very well be making a mistake and a risk, but my heart is telling me that it won't be. Only time will tell if she'll break free of the collar I mysteriously have around her, but it seems we'll be stuck with each other for the time being. Hopefully for a long time. I guess I managed to somehow get drunk after all. Drunk off a dangerous drink called love. Thanks for playing. Again to show the afterward. Oh wow, that's a kinky. I just realized. I just realized what the image was. And she's even got the little dog ears. This is interesting because I usually feel like the girl, the other girl in the story, right? Like besides the main character, I'm trying to think what you call her. Usually is the one kind of leading us along, and maybe that kind of was the case, but this kind of paints a different story. All right, click again to show the afterward. Perfect. Oh gosh, that's long. I'm trying to decide, do I want to give my thoughts right now or read the afterward first? I'll probably just say a few thoughts real quick, and then I'll read this. Honestly, I think this was probably the best one yet. I mean, it really just depends on, like, the characters, like, you know, like, which girls you end up liking the most. I think will probably determine which Team Anpim stories you like. I really like all of them. I don't want to say that because I like this one the best, that it demeans all the others, because all the others are great too, but I think the writing in this was really strong, and it had more CGs. I was surprised by that. They usually only do like 2 or 3 max. So being able to see like all the different art of the characters was great, and I think that really like added to the story. Lengthwise, I also think this was the longest one of all that I played, so that was good. I liked more. There was like a 2-year wait between the last story and this one, so I think we deserved a little bit of a longer one, and this one certainly delivered. So I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with the wait. I'm actually playing this 2 months after it came out too. I unfortunately was sick when it came out, and I just never got around to playing it yet. So here I am, and I'm glad I did. I'm gonna go ahead and read the afterwards and the words from the CEO now. Hello, thank you for playing to the very end. We hope you enjoyed this year's game. This year's game was definitely more of a slowish burn, and I liked that. I think that was a great point of making me feel more for the characters, I guess. Not what I intended, but it ended up being that way, which is fine. Please do excuse us if it's a little rusty. It's been 2 years since our last release, after all. I don't know. I think it still had that kind of Team Anpim type story. I'm not displeased at all. I'm still pretty happy with where the story landed, though. Quite happy when the character designs landed as well. Tried to make them more memorable and fashionable, and I had a fun time designing them. Yeah, and I could tell. I could definitely tell there was a lot of work put into it. It's very noticeable. Did a good job. Once again, fun facts time. If you haven't noticed already, the 2 main characters' first names, Umiko and Yuza, are based off the Japanese wines, Umeshu and Yuzushu. And their last names, Asahina and Kirino, are based off the beers Asahi and Kirin, in which they were actually switched at first, and then I realized their color schemes coincidentally matched the other beer's cans more, so I switched them the last minute. Ringo, Momoka, Apple, and Peach are based off apple cider and peach flavored hard seltzers, Chuhais. I drew some inspiration for the Aristocats and the Vocaloid song "Oh, It's a Wonderful Cat Life" in regards to a free, more spirited character versus the more uptight one. Initially, I kind of wanted to have Yuzaha as MC, where she tries her best to get Umiko to fall in love with her. Interesting. That would have made for a much different story, but I like the way it turned out. I think this is one of the first games that has real-life references, because I was too lazy to come up with replacements that weren't the usual tweet or Instagram or Ryan. Also, I have to add in a mention of Romy from Love Goes Towards Love whenever it comes to characters talking about handsome women. Yeah, I definitely noticed a little bit of the references to some older games. I was a little bit confused because they started mentioning that. I'm like, is this supposed to be a character that we know? I was a little bit confused there for a second, but let's see. I lost my spot. Yuzaha's industrial piercing is not going the right way. Don't at me. Had a lot of stressful fun working on the siege as well. A lot of new different poses I don't draw often, and managed to squeeze out a bonus doodle too. Yeah, and like I said, the art was absolutely phenomenal. As always, once again, thank you for reaching the end. Please share the game alongside all the other games to your fellow Yuri loving friends. I'd like to think that me making a video about it will be doing that. I don't necessarily know a lot of people that love Yuri. I think I do have some people that watch my stuff that like it, but we love reading all the comments we get, and again, just warms my heart to know my games are loved. It's what drives me to continue making them. Let's hope I don't get burnt out again next year. Next year do be jam-packed for me. But anyways, thank you again for reading, playing this year's game. Until next time. I know it's going to be busy for you, but please make another game. Please make another game. Because they're so good, and I enjoy playing them a lot. Load on here, and I thank you again for playing through our visual kinetic novel. It's been a while, hasn't it? I didn't release a game last year, still a sore spot for me, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, that's disappointing, but like I said, I think this was well worth the wait. This was a little bit longer. It felt like it just had more time with the characters, more build-up, and then the art was really good, so I'm not complaining. We're back in business for this year. I had an extra month to work on this game, or else I really couldn't have finished it on time. Honestly, thank God for the deadline extension. I'm still trying to find that day job, visual novel work balance. Writing literally only took 2 months due to being slow, procrastination, distractions, lack of story direction, busy with other projects, and lack of time management, juggling with my day job, etc., etc. Then art, coding, everything else took me 3 weeks. Writing ate up a week in the 3rd month. I made it all thanks to deadline extension. I also somehow managed to pump out 5 CGs in 12 days. I had no idea how I did it, but I did it. Yeah, and you did an awesome job on them. Thank you if you came by my art stream to see me work on them. I think this year's game is pretty rusty because it's technically been a year since I've written and worked on a visual novel, but hope you still like it. I was worried if the story was okay, if there was pacing issues or anything. There definitely was, because I feel like Yuzawa's tragic backstory could have been fleshed out more along with some other stuff I had to digress. I guess I can only fit so much in 2 to 3 months worth of writing. I incorporated a lot of new things this time around too. The phone conversation screen, definitely be utilizing that somewhere in the future. Yeah, I really like the phone screen. I totally forgot about that. That definitely added to it for me. Kind of made it feel more interactive. So definitely a plus there. Definitely use that more. Yeah, I mean, definitely could have like wrote some more about the girls' backstories if you wanted to go that direction, but at the same time, I kind of liked just seeing them interact. I kind of got to know the characters because there was so much times where they like kind of, you know, met up with each other or bumped into each other. I got to know them pretty well, and I think that was what was important for me. So, sure, you could have added some more stuff to maybe the backstory, but overall, I think it was pretty good. This time around was super busy as there was a lot of other things going on aside from the visual novel, which caused a lot of stress, and I want to continue making Yuri visual novels, but I sometimes wonder when I'll eventually have absolutely no time to make one. These take up to about 2 months. Now I find I need 3 months instead. With a day job, I get very little sleep because I end up staying up super late to work on the visual novel, as that's the only time I have to work on it. Maybe it's time to write shorter stories, but we'll see. I don't want to stop, only time will tell. I guess if I had a suggestion, you could maybe make them episodic? Is that how you say that? Maybe make like 3 parts to it. Just work on 1 part at a time and then just kind of space it out more when you have time. I mean, that's something you could do, but I also really like this format where it's just kind of one and done. So I don't know if I'd want to see an episodic, just a suggestion, but I love creating stories, especially sappy, cheesy, fluffy Yuri. And I love those too. My wife finds it interesting that I even like Yuri. She's like, oh, you probably just like it, so, you know, think about them sexually. I'm like, no, I really like that it's... Yuri is more vanilla, I guess. I like that it's not super sexual all the time. I guess maybe because a woman writing a story wouldn't make it like that. So I guess that's why I personally, as a guy, enjoy stories like this. I like that it focuses heavily on the romance and with a little bit of drama in there, of course, and just focusing on how the characters inevitably fall in love. So I really like the way Team Anpim does their stories. Either way, I'm still very grateful each day that my games are still circulating, that people still enjoy them. That's more than I could ask for. But anyways, until next time. Awesome. Perfect, I can take another look at it. I'll go ahead and hide that for anybody. Oh, I didn't even notice the tail. There's a tail too. yeah, I think I've about said everything I wanted to say. Another wonderful game from Team Anpim. Definitely go check them out. I have videos of almost all of the other games. I think there's only the very first one they made that I don't have a video on. I would like to eventually play that. We'll see if that ends up happening. Otherwise, though, please support Team Anpim. You can follow them on Twitter. Follow Saint Udon. You know, they make good stuff. Great art, great story. I love it. Anyways, I'm going to end it here. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.